my friends? Welcome back. It's author Joe Holt. This is Fireside Chats. It's a live podcast I do with other D Live streamers, so you get to know them, on a more personal level. But also we talk about D Live streaming, etc., etc. Without further ado, Vector Abbott, what's up, man?
Hey, Joe, not much, dude. I just want to say thank you again for asking me onto your Fireside Chat show. I hear this is like show number 50, is that right?
Uh, yeah. Shh. Um, yeah. If you wanted to be in the first 50 shows, and you weren't already in a show, obviously excluding Vector Abbott. You sorry,
Sorry.
sorry. Yes, yes. Isn't that crazy? This is the number 50th Fireside Chat, and
Yeah,
let's see if we can quantify because timing, the amount of time it takes to do 50 shows is important. I think just like that 100 show mark. So 50 shows. I started the last week of March. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I was off most of November, December because I moved houses. And
okay,
then so we'll say December, we're talking like 8 months.
right.
Less than 9 months, 50 shows.
Yeah,
You a math guy? Like is that what's the fractions on that? It's more than one a week, right?
yeah, it seems like it. It
Not
seems like it. It's very impressive.
it's a lot. It's what's been awesome? Everybody that's asked to be on the show has been on the show. There's
Nice.
well, actually, you know what? There's one exception, and it's because we scheduled the show with the guy, and then he switched platforms, and then
Ah,
still wanted to be on the show, and I'm like, it's a D Live show about D Live streamers. That's the
right.
premise, right? Like you're
Nice,
not on D
nice.
Live. If you were now, the reverse of that is if you were on D Live when you were on my show and now you're on different platform, hey, you get to stay. You're part of Fireside Chats.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the information contained is going to be while you were on D Live, and that's what we're looking to do. So anyway, that's a whole lot of whatnots and what have yous. During the interview, guys, I don't really call out donations because it tends to derail the show, but I appreciate it. I probably will just give it all to Vector anyway. Um, yeah, so just give it to Vector. His link's in the chat. By the way, okay. So the first question is supposed to be your name's Vector Abbott. What's it mean to you? How'd you come up with it? I'm changing this for it's number 50. We're going to do something special, and that is the first question is going to be why did you shave off your beard? I mean,
I,
I think you're a beautiful man. You have great
oh, thank you.
lines. It worked out for you. It doesn't work out for everybody,
Oh,
but your beard, you had a great beard. What happened?
oh,
Look
well, thank
there.
you. I work at a place called Unit 55. We run horror games. For those of you who know what
Okay.
escape rooms are, they're gaining more and more popularity in the last couple of years.
Escape
Um,
rooms?
escape rooms, right? You
Escape.
know what
Oh,
an escape
escape.
room is.
I'm writing this down because I want to get into that in a minute.
Yeah,
But
you,
Vic,
you're familiar with escape rooms, right?
no, I'm not. So I wrote it
Oh,
down. I want to go back to
okay,
that. No, no, no.
okay. So,
You cut off your beard because of work.
right,
Okay. All right. Now let's leave it there for now because I want to get into that later. But we have serious questions. There's only two. Um, yeah, I know Ivan that the audio is a little different right now. I actually said that to him. We're not sure exactly.
yeah. Appreciate that, Ivan.
Yeah,
Trying to dial it in here.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It just sounds a little like subway-ish kind of, but it's still clear.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, first question is your name, Vector Abbott. What's it mean to you? How'd you come up with it?
Okay. Uh, a dude asked me this probably about half a year ago. You know, how'd you come up with your name? It really just came to me. Um, I just like playing with words, and I just like the sound of it. Um, I don't know. There's just something that was really satisfying about it, and I just chose it. And since then, it's sort of things have kind of come out of the name itself, without me sort of like deciding it. which is pretty fun.
Like
So yeah,
the,
I
you mean
mean,
like the Abbey type references? Like Welcome
right,
to the Abbey? Right, right.
right. Like the Abbey came from
Mm,
the name, which just kind of came to me just
hmm.
spontaneously. And that's what I really enjoy about the process so far of streaming. Mostly, it's just how organic it's been.
Mm.
How one thing just sort of leads to another, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, I don't know. I just like the sound of it. Uh, I like the play on words. It's Vector Abbott, but there's also a rabbit in there. There's a bot in there. Like some people have asked me here on D Live, like, or other people in the chat, like, is Vector a bot? Is Vector a robot? Like, no, no, maybe,
Confirmed. Confirmed.
maybe not. I don't know.
You sound robot, and it sounds like a dog maybe involved as well.
Yeah, that's Peaches.
Hi,
He's
Hi, Peaches.
probably barking at another dog outside right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a dog on the porch named Shep. He's awesome. He's my new buddy. I got
Yeah.
him basically just before Christmas last year. Very excited. He's half lab. Actually, I could put I even made a custom sticker to put in chat.
Oh,
But he's
what a
half
beauty.
lab and half shepherd, so he's like 110 or 20 pounds. But he's a
He's cute.
sweetheart, complete sweetheart.
Yeah.
All right, so I was Vector Abbott. Just a great name that you came up with. No
Thanks.
like deep spiritual meaning. It just mnemonics. I believe the word would be mnemonics, right? How it
Right.
sounds, what it triggers in your mind. It's great
Right.
for that.
And again, sort of meaning has come out of it. And again,
Any
I didn't think like, oh, how can I get right? Like you say, how can I convey this thing that means something?
Mhm.
It just sort of sounded cool, and then out of it, um, meaning is sort of made, and that's kind of why I don't like to really even say what it means for me, because maybe it means something to somebody else, totally different.
I dig
If
it,
that makes
man.
sense.
Any chance you want to check on the dog? That's really coming through, I think.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
If you want. I mean, it sounds intense, and it is actually
There's just barking at a squirrel, but I'll
hurting
check
my
on him.
ears. Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on with the audio, guys, but we can't have like the deep audio and also the dog. That was just a bit much, so I apologize. We're going to get this right. I want you guys to be able to hear what's going on. And that's by the way, if you think if you're somebody who hasn't streamed before and you think you're going to stream and not have these issues, you're wrong. You're going to have audio issues, you're going to have camera issues, you're going to have internet connectivity issues like that. You're going to have dogs barking, babies crying, like neighbors yelling, streaming and I was just explaining if you want to be a streamer, you're going to have these interruptions and mic problems and camera problems and the neighbor dancing the conga above your head, during your stream.
Yeah, they're all good. They're just barking at another dog.
Cool, cool. All right, so second question, two-part question, and it's the last question of the interview. So, very, very mellow interview. When did you start streaming? But the second part would be why? Like, kind of what was the catalyst that you decided, oh, I'm going to turn on a camera and share my life with the world?
Yeah, I started streaming on D Live. February 1st, 2018 is when I started streaming on D Live, and I was led to D Live through Steemit when it was on the Steemit blockchain,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know anything about streaming. I didn't really understand it. I didn't get it. Not to really say that I do now, but I just thought, huh, okay, so just throw the game up on the screen and then just push start. Okay, I could do that, and that's just how I started playing with no mic, no camera. I think Owlboy was the first game I streamed on D Live, some Cuphead stuff like this, and I just started adding. I added a mic and the camera, and uh, streaming on D Live to begin with. There just wasn't a lot of people coming through, you know, and that was fine with me because I didn't know, any better or anything else. I just really enjoyed playing games in the first place, and then streaming it was nice. And then all of a sudden, people started coming through and chatting, and it really became a lot of fun. And it just became something else and something unexpected for me. I never thought I'd be a part of a community online like this. I never imagined it, and I never imagined being a streamer again, not even knowing what it is. And I'm so happy that I made that decision, and even more so that people showed up at the Abbey, and
No,
the Abbey has.
I'm just laughing because when you start, it's streaming is kind of a very lonely thing, right? You're sitting alone
Mhm.
in a space talking to
Yeah,
yourself. So having that feedback immediately, you're like, oh, well, this is better, right? Like, so I don't understand streamers that don't talk to their communities because honestly, that's what the reward is for me is that
right.
exchange of energy. But I want to hit on something you said you found that community, right? Like you
Hmm.
think you're going to go streaming is about your performance and what you're doing and is your channel successful? Are you make well then you find that like community and all that goes out the window and it's like, well, how can I just fit into this community because it's awesome and I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and for me, it wasn't even how can I. It was like all of a sudden we're here,
Yeah, you
and
just are.
yeah, and that was really lovely and just very unexpected. And again, this is why I stream. This is why certainly why I'm streaming on D Live. It's very much about community. And you're right, Joe. All of these that's what's great about it. It's like all of these ideas that I can kind of catch and maybe cause some anxiety. I'm here, but I want to be here.
Mm.
I'm not an affiliate partner. I want to be an affiliate partner. I want to be a partner, verified. I want to be a global partner. I want to get this much. Whatever goals we have, whatever anxieties we may have. For me, all of that is just sort of like solarized by the community. It's just it's it doesn't cause me anxiety, which is
Hmm.
wonderful. I just focus on having fun, like really enjoying myself. Because again, it is, you talked about an exchange of energy. And
Hmm.
in my life, primarily what I've studied and what I've done is performance arts.
Hmm.
I'm a stage animal. That's what I did for a long, long time. And the nut of it, the essence of it, the reason why I loved it really is just that really primal exchange of energy.
Hmm.
Um, it's a play. It's not a play with me in the spotlight so you can see me. Um, we're all here like making this happen, whether or not you know it. And for me, streaming is completely, um, it's just new for me. And I think it's so exciting in that idea. Um, and I don't, so yeah, I don't really aspire to be, even though I enjoy like just kicking back sometimes. And just like earlier, I was just playing Dark Souls 3, just having a little nature walk, spacing out. I love that,
Yeah, yeah.
And if someone comes through, awesome, that's great. But for me, yeah, Joe, the primary focus is that exchange and the people who are coming through. It's not the viewers and it's not me. It's both.
Mhm.
So when I press that start stream button, I make sure that I'm in a good space. I'm in a good mental space and I'm ready to play. Um, I'm available. You know.
That's a
Um,
really great point. Like, but actually, at the end, kind of towards the end of the show, I always ask, is there good like advice? Do this, it helps, and or don't do this, it definitely hurts. And what you just said is an answer I get a lot of the time, which is if you're not feeling up to it, don't turn the camera on.
No, there's no reason to, at least for me. And again, we all have our different reasons for streaming. You're talking about, I don't understand streamers who don't interact with chat. Hey, I don't know if I do either, but maybe, that's just their own thing. Like that's what they're doing. And that's just the kind of streamer they want to be. And, maybe it's
Well,
easier
I
for them to
mean,
push start
here's
stream,
here's why I
because,
want to say that though.
yeah,
If you want to just be a content creator, that's
yeah,
way easier if you're not live.
Right.
Like way, 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 way easier. You can have as many takes as you want. You can be in a bad mood in 5 out of 6 of the takes, but that sixth take, you're like, "What's up, man?" And
Right.
then you nail it, and you upload that version. If you don't want to interact live with the audience, be a content creator, not a live streamer. That's a very distinctly different lifestyle.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I agree with you too. I mean, that for me is why I love streaming. It's just this, for me, this whole new
Hmm.
medium, and it's a new medium for the world too. It's relatively young, and I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see what happens, how it changes and evolves, like what it's going to become. But for me, it is all about that exchange and that opportunity to be together, you know?
Hmm. Well, the community is the reason I stream. So that's why it's weird to me that you wouldn't include them. But
Right.
again, that's like I didn't find out. I'm 41. Yeah, 41. Um, I didn't find out about live streaming until 2017, and it's January 2020. So that's only a couple years. And I think guys my generation or any, people my generation, we didn't have cell phones and computers, much less internet or streaming or live streaming or content creation or you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
this is a completely like they maybe they're setting up emails, people older than me, but they're definitely, don't know about live streaming and cryptocurrency, things like
Right.
that. So for me, live streaming on D Live became about like learning about this whole new world available. Because I just thought the internet was like social media and email and stuff, right? Like communication. I didn't understand people are living on the internet now.
Right. Yeah.
Like really, I don't mean to like say it so bluntly, but like, I don't want to sound callous, but I didn't know that was happening, right? Like they're all their friends are online. They're um, their own value system, right? This idea of
Hmm.
self worth. How many
Hmm.
likes did I get? How many people commented? How many, you know what I mean? Like if somebody made a bad comment, they take it personally as a reflection of their self. It's wild.
Hmm.
I didn't know that existed. I'm not sure how old you are. You don't have to say, but have you had that same culture shock, or did you kind of have you grown up with this reality and just wanted to
No,
join?
no, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I didn't, I was aware that streaming existed, uh, but I didn't get it. And I wasn't
Mm.
even interested in it. I was a gamer, and it's just like streaming. For me, all it was that idea of watching people play video games.
Mm.
Simply, that was it. A very
Hmm.
juvenile understanding. I have no idea what it is. And so, yeah, coming into it, absolutely, it was a shock, and a really good one too. And that,
Mm.
again, I have to give that to the D Live community because they surrounded me, like a big, big hug. They surrounded me and just fed me with goodness, like a goose. Just stuffed me with positivity. Whether or not I wanted it. I just kept showing up, and people kept showing up, and yeah, it felt so good. It was like boom, like whoa, you're out there,
Hmm.
like hey, hey. So once those doors were open, yeah, there's no
Well,
turning back.
it's a very curious thing, right? Like I had never used a phone to do video chat or any of that sort of, interaction before. And what was cool was I told my sons, "Hey, I'm learning how to live stream." And they live in California, I live in Arkansas, right? So I don't get to see their faces a lot. Well, my son Justin was like, "Hey, I can live stream using my Xbox on Twitch." So
Oh,
he
cool.
turned his Xbox on. I watched them live stream both my sons live stream for a while. Then they stopped streaming. I turned on D Live and I streamed for a while and they got to watch me and hang out with me. And all of a sudden it was this way to spend more time with my kids. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Then my mom got in the chat, so now grandma's hanging out, chatting and seeing the grandkids, which she lives in a different state as well. You know what I mean?
that's great.
Yeah, it was like this. It's just we're gonna hang out as a family, like a literal family, and other people can hang out if they want. We're a friendly bunch, like And it was this wild thing where I was like, wow, live streaming is the interactive portion is the kind of the reward of it, right? That's the huge difference between like creating a YouTube video and reading the comments later and putting out exactly what you want and turning on the camera and doing your best. And I love when people clip embarrassing shit, like me totally murdering a karaoke song or something,
Right.
because that's the beauty of live, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't go right all the time.
No, that's yeah, that's what I really do love that. You know, I love again, I love live. I love improvisation. You know, just jumping in is always been for me just a lot of fun because it is all about the unexpected and it is all about mistakes, you know, and
Part of life.
IRL, you know, like real life, you
Right.
know, like
Oh,
you
I
know,
have such a problem with the IRL phrase. Like,
yeah.
like,
What is it?
like, bitch, I'm IRL right now. All right.
Exactly.
If
Right,
you
right.
cut me, I would bleed. This is IRL right now.
Exactly.
I
That's
never
funny.
understood that. You mean outside, right? Because that's dude. That's what I'm saying. We got to understand the psyche of these of the new, younger generations. They don't see this as IRL. IRL is that scary place where you have to leave your house. And
Okay.
and instead of like for us, IRL was is life, is how we grew up. This internet thing is what's tripping me out, you know?
Right, right. Same here.
Right, but
So
to
yeah,
them it's completely opposite. So it's been an interesting space to, you know, we've like we said at the beginning of the show, we've done 50 of these fireside chats now, and we've had people from 13 years old, 14 years old, all the way up to I don't know, I didn't ask, right? Like
right.
older than me, older than the 40s. So it's been a really fun journey to find out like, well, how did you find out about live streaming? Right?
Mhm.
Like for you, how you started live streaming a year ago. Did you found out
Almost
about
2 years ago.
almost 2 years ago? Because you
Yeah,
with Steam It
right.
on D Live, or you found D Live when it was on Steam It?
Yeah. So when D Live was on the Steam, when I started streaming on D Live, so my first day that I streamed was February 1st, 2018.
18.
Yeah,
Right, right. Okay. I misheard. I thought you
2018.
said
Yeah,
2019 because that would have been the Lino blockchain year.
yeah. No.
So steaming on 2018. Okay, okay. Wow. All right, all right. Okay, okay. So now I'm putting things together. Good, because my next question I got to ask the last guy because he was in the same
Yeah.
situation. So I'd like to hear your take, which was, you know, there's people with a little backfiller for clarity if you're listening to this on YouTube later. Lino is a blockchain, was a blockchain that we tried on DLive. But before Lino, it was on the Steemit blockchain, which was a cryptocurrency, right? So it changed from Steemit. They said, you know what, we're going to try to create our own token and we're going to try to create our own cryptocurrency on a new blockchain. So they switched from Steemit to Lino. Now they're saying Lino's not going to work out. It was just bought by, was it BitTorrent? Is that Tron, the Tron blockchain something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good with all that. I'm still learning. So now it's switching to a new platform and people are freaking out. Oh my God, what's happening? The world's ending. And I'm like, actually, this happened before and it was fine. Like it got better. It was on Steam, it went to Lino, it got better. We had the best blockchain in the world for a year. That's something. Now we're going to a next thing, presumably going to be better. There's more capital involved. There's more people involved. It's already a cryptocurrency, right? Like,
Right.
anyway, so you were here when it went from Steem to Lino. Now it's gone from Lino to the new thing. Did it get better from Steem to Lino? Did everybody panic and bail? Like what's happening now, or a large group?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. I feel like it did get better. The move from the Steemit blockchain to the Lino blockchain. Um, that's my perspective. And yeah, it's the same thing. It's a cycle. It's the same thing that happened. You know, the second time around, it's just a lot of people reacting very much the same way the first time.
I don't understand that either because if you like Twitch was something else before it was Twitch, right? Like
Right.
Mixer was something else before it was Mixer. D Live has gone through a change already. It's going through another one. That's just part of this industry.
Yeah, it's part of life. It's just that's how things grow. And again, I'm not. From what I understand, one of the goals of DLive is to move to true decentralization, which, from my understanding, which is incredibly limited in that area. Um, a move from Lino to BitTorrent.
Mm. Right,
BitTorrent
right,
is
right.
is
BitTorrent. Yeah.
actually decentralized.
Mm.
That's the idea. So this was already from the get-go. This was a goal of DLive. In fact, DLive, decentralization live. So we're just getting closer to that goal,
Hmm.
as far as I see it. And then there's a change from Lino moving to an actual cryptocurrency,
Right.
Tron. And again, I don't know much about this. I think, from what I'm understanding, what people seem to be most upset about is that it is Tron. They seem to have some concerns about Tron and Justin
Because
Sun.
of his past business, experiences or something.
From what I understand, and I don't
Okay.
know
Yeah, I don't either.
what that is.
I don't, and I
So
actually reached out to Justin Sun and offered to let him be on the show and talk about what's going on, because he would be the first non-streamer to be on the show, but given that he just bought the company, it seems like a good conversation to have. If he will, I don't know. I would appreciate it. I'm sure
yeah,
a lot of us would. You know,
absolutely.
we want it. We
Yeah,
don't, and there's no attacking. We're curious. We've seen this change. We've seen a lot of platforms change. We're curious as to what it looks like and what his vision for it is. But
yeah,
I'm sure we're gonna fight. It's the 13th of January, 2020, right now. The 15th of January, 2020. So less than 2 days. There's some big announcement. How this whole Lino to transition to Tron and all this is going to happen. And
yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
if you're watching Justin Sun's tweets, they're very optimistic. I mean,
Yeah.
he's alluding to big things, and I'm
Hmm.
excited about that.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult to it's difficult to actually build a streaming platform on a blockchain and have it grow. And for me, this is
Mm.
why I'm so incredibly live, is that for as many people bitching and moaning, and kicking the sheets, uh, none of them have ever started a streaming site, and none of them have ever started a streaming site that's been built on a blockchain. It's kind of a new thing. So for me,
Yeah.
that positivity, that positivity you spoke of with Justin Sun, is very important. It's something I'm really attracted to. Um, and again, I hear a lot of the lip service about naivete and fake positivity. And I acknowledge that. I know what fake positivity is. I think the thing to do is to really do your homework, do your research if you're really interested in those things.
Hmm.
Um, for me, eh, like I'll get around to it. I'll learn about it. But I think it's so much easier to be negative. I think
Well,
it's so much easier
I
to
don't call
tear
it
down.
fake positivity. I call
Hmm.
it, because I've talked about this on stream a number of times recently. I call it blind optimism.
Okay.
Like, I don't have room for failure in my mind, right? In terms of, if this is going to succeed, it's going to be because I think it will, right? So, and if it doesn't, that's because there's some information I didn't have that I'll get later, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll go do something else. Like, I don't have an attachment to the end result. I'm more of a now kind of guy. Well, I'm having a
Right.
blast.
Same. Same here.
You,
I'm just it's about that present moment, accepting that, like, hey, I've got today. I love to thank you. I'm gonna use this time to stream on D Live. I'm just really thankful for what I have, and the community that is here. And for me, that's quite a lot. That it really is. But again, back to that positivity. I think it's just easier to be negative than to be
mm,
positive, really, and to build up and to like you just said, like Justin Sun's tweets are so positive, and um, you know, it's it's another thing to be bold like that,
Mm.
you know? And I appreciate that. I think there needs to be more of that sort of boldness in productivity, and trying stuff. Hey, we're doing this. Um,
Yeah, try
yeah,
it. Just do. Like it's better to be doing and trying. Like Charles Wayne, I applaud that man. He has worked his ass off to get where he is. He created the most successful blockchain in the world in under a year and saw the propensity for failure with the current plan, made a new plan already doing better. Right?
right.
Like that's great. That's congratulations that
Yeah,
you're a good CEO. Thanks, man.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Right? Because
Pretty simple.
I
Yeah,
don't want the stress or pressure of trying to run a international live streaming decentralized blockchain. Like I'm already glazed over. I just
right.
want a live stream.
Yeah,
I just want a live stream. I have a unique opportunity to live stream because I live on disability, right? So I don't have to worry about money. If I make money, if I'm popular, if I'm not popular, right? Like cashing out, like I don't care. I just don't care. That's not why I do it. So maybe that's why I'm blindly optimistic and happy and still having a good time, right? I don't want to discredit the nervousness that people feel that pay their bills by live streaming and they're worried about traffic and how do I get paid and is it crypto, is it a token, is it decentralized, is it not? I mean, those are good conversations to have. And of the crypto guys, which I don't want to name outright, but we have quite a few crypto traders and what I would consider experts compared to my knowledge on crypto on DLive, and they all had complaints about Lino and the fact that it wasn't decentralized like they were claiming, and that it would be a terrible idea to take it to a main net because they don't know the total supply and all the other factors needed to actually put an assignable value and assignable risk factor. So they're all very excited about what happened and the change.
that's cool.
I mean,
That's cool.
just to put that out there, like I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. They do. They're excited about the possibility.
Well, yeah. I mean, I gotta say again, I'm not as aware of this stuff either, but just I guess Occam's razor. Just looking at my Twitter feed, it seems like the gripes and the concerns are more coming from this little population of people here on DLive or who are maybe now ex DLivers, um, versus kind of like a broader audience who again seems to know just more about crypto in general.
Hmm.
That seems to be much more positive when it comes to Tron. And so it's interesting to hear you say that, speaking
Well,
with,
I've
yeah,
spoken for with so many of these streamers now, and a good chunk of them have left the platform for other platforms for various reasons. But I don't understand like the reason I agreed to turn on the camera with DLive was because of the community, right? But also because of the specific factors like donations, right? Twitch, they take half right
right.
away, and you're paying taxes, and you're getting a very small percentage.
Hmm.
Well, this idea with DLive that you're going to keep more like 90% of the donations, the other 10% is going back to the community that have reinvested in the black. I was like, this is great. This encourages community participation. It encourages the community to invest in the very thing, the backbone, the software, the hardware, right? That's allowing them to stream the blockchain side of it, and the company DLive that's actually has paying staff members to, for the business of running a website, basically. Um, that's that's all still going well. That's the part that survived, right?
Right.
The part that needed to change was
Hmm.
it wasn't truly decentralized. We tried, hey, and we did a damn good job. We the most successful blockchain in the world. Congratulations, you're awesome. Now we'll do the next thing, right? Like I don't know. Does that even come up on your radar when you think about streaming or when you stream? Like if it's Steam or Lino or Tron or what a blockchain even is? Like,
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's D-Line that sort of got me into this, and learning about it, and that's
mm,
really exciting. Like, I guess, like this is one of the reasons why I just dig the community as well. Is there's a lot of knowledgeable people. Um, so yeah, it does come up on the radar, and for me, it's just a matter of picking and choosing what I want to give my attention to,
mm,
what I want to learn more about, and in this year, I've got a new job coming up, a new gig coming up, which the idea being it will give me some more income
mhm,
and it will also give me some more time.
mm,
Both of those things, which I'm really, really excited about. And so at that point, what I would like to do is start investing more of my time and energy in learning
mm.
about crypto. Because it's really exciting. And yeah, I'm really proud that I'm on D Live because of all the good work that they've done, and they're still doing it. They're still headed towards those goals, which is what we've been talking about. And so, yeah, I want to learn more about that because I am a part of D, and the more knowledge I have, the more I can share that knowledge with
Mhm.
people who come through. I think that's really important to me. And since I've been streaming, all it's been about is focusing on learning how to stream,
Mm.
and stream well, and also focusing on gaming and how much fun that is, and just sharing that
I
and
think
talking
that's a
about
really great point. Like, I don't mean to interject, but I think you're hitting on a really great alternative to,
hmm
for right. Our time is important, so how you spend your time is the most important thing. So you could spend your time being caught up in this gossip and hate and social media around the negativity, or you can do what you just said, which is spend the time to learn how to stream better, learn how to put out a better quality product, learn how to improve your gameplay, learn how to interact, like, and continue to spend time to build and grow the quality of your channel and your own self. It sounds like. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
you've been here. You're actually the very first guest that I've had that's been on D Live since it was on Steemit, but wasn't streaming on the different platform before that.
Right.
Which I think that's great because your whole microcosm, your perception of streaming is D Live, and since its first version,
hmm
that's kind of amazing. Like for in
Yeah.
context of like the current scenario in terms of D Live going to this change from Lino.
Yeah. I feel it's a good thing. And like I said, I'm really happy to be a part of D Live. That's a big thing for me about the whole thing too, as far as all of the smashing and the negativity is that this doesn't, like this is a platform that's offered up. Like we don't. You have the option. You can pay into it if you want to, or whatever. But I don't know. For me, the most amazing thing is that I haven't put any USD into this.
Right.
I haven't, and and
Yeah.
and it's just been amazing, like how D Live has helped me live my life. Pay my bills for real when that was really needed. And that's helping me just improve my life. And I don't know. For me, it's just been all positive, and it's just given me so much. So that's why I'm really excited about the opportunity every day to just be present. And for me, again, like work more and more to a place of availability
Mm.
and also, generosity because people have been very generous with me.
Is the new job something you want to talk about
Oh hell
publicly?
yeah! If you want, yeah, it's I'm training right now. I've had a couple training sessions. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to be working for a company called Complete Weddings and Events. It's a franchise in the U.S. It's basically runs weddings and events. You got DJing,
Mm.
photography, the kissing booth, this kind of thing. I'll be DJing weddings and events.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's a really cool gig. It's just basically doing more of what I do on stream, which is
Hmm.
having a good time. You know.
I really enjoy. I actually did that for a while too, and it's fun because those people are there at those events to have a good time, right? And if you get a good DJ who's like a good time kind of guy, it becomes a better moment, and you just get to share in it, and they pay you, which is to
Oh yeah.
me like a bonus.
Hmm.
I love that gig.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. It's super cool.
That's
It's
cool.
gonna be a lot of
So,
fun.
how much of your theater? Because I heard you mention theater. I did theater in school, and I love going to. I've seen Les Miserables. I saw a family opera at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood. That was like a life changing event for me. How much do you think like theater affects what you do on camera, right? Because for live theater, you have to worry about blocking, right? You have to factor in the audience as a primary concern in theater, right? Where with like if you're filming a movie or TV, you're getting the angle and then showing people that later. For live streaming for theater, that's very much the audience is a major concern because you have to direct your entertainment towards them specifically, right? Have you seen any correlation there?
Between theater and streaming.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, primarily, it's all in the improv. Really.
Say that again,
That's.
you cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. For me, primarily, it's just all in the improv, in
Oh,
the
okay. Yeah, yeah.
improvisation,
Hmm.
the improvisational element of being live.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's like technique or whatever one can learn in the theater that can, transfer over to streaming. Um, but I don't know. For me, it's just about that live. Again, back to that exchange of energy and being available.
Hmm. So
Really.
I guess I could even clarify your answer can help me clarify my question, which is are you acting or are you just kind of being yourself and it maybe exaggerating a little bit for entertainment value?
Right. Yeah, it's the latter from where I'm at.
Like you're like because that's we've seen that you've even been streaming twice as long as I have on D Live, and you see streamers who try to put on like a persona for the stream. That's very hard to maintain for any length of time.
Hmm.
And so I like that your advice is well be yourself because that works.
Well, for me, it does. I mean, and I've seen the idea that like, hey, if you want to be mediocre, says be yourself, but more so, and that's basically what you're saying. What I heard you saying with, the two differences between acting and just sort of you know, kind of pushing yourself a little more. Like for me, I guess that's where it's veering more towards is the latter again.
Hmm.
I because again, it is about a connection, and I've done a lot of mass work myself. I went to school in Northern California, Blue Lake, California,
Hmm.
Humboldt County. There's a school there called Del Arte. It was founded by this dude named Carlo Mazzone Clemente from Italy, and he studied commedia dell'arte. Um, so a lot of mask work, and a basic idea in mask work is that you have the mask, you've got your face, and then you've got. It's important to know that there's a space in between,
Hmm.
and to respect that space, and that's a neutral space.
Hmm.
Have that respect, and so that's for me in streaming. It's important to I realize that it's gone, even though I say I'm being myself. Um, it's a mask, and here I am, and then there has to be this neutral space
Hmm.
in order for me to be available, in order for me to breathe, to be available for all of the people who give their time to show up,
Mm-hmm.
which is invaluable. you know, it's amazing. Like I'm one person, I'm one streamer, and this is my time. But then all of a sudden, there's a person in my chat. This is their whole life. There's two people, there's three. For me, again, it's about honoring that play
Mm-hmm.
and not letting a persona distort that. If anything, I want to be able to find that mask that will amplify that or enhance that. But yeah, there just has to be a respect, that there's me and that there is a mask, and whether you're saying out loud, "Hey, it's an act,"
Mm-hmm.
this is just an act. Or whether you're saying, "Hey, I'm being myself." They're both masks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't tell people when I'm kidding and when I'm not. Like
Yeah.
I did a 4 hour stream about my beard one time, and every 15 minutes I measured it again and talked about how much longer it was. I was like, you can use brake cleaner CLP. It's really good for the beard because it cleans, it preserves, and it protects. And obviously, you want to do that with the beard. Uh, just don't get any on your skin because it causes cancer. Just keep it on the beard. Just for like 4 hours saying the most ridiculous shit, basically.
Yeah.
It never broke character. And then the next stream was like a normal, like this kind of a conversation. Because that's the facade, that entertainment value, right? You want to believe. I'll give you an example. There's this YouTuber I like to watch named Patty Mayo, and he pretends sorry if I'm ruining this, spoiler alert. He pretends to be a law enforcement agent and a bail recovery agent going on like high profile, arraignments where the people are going to be violent. Well, I watched them and there was all kinds of like red flags, kind of BS, but I was caught up in it. Well, then I saw an interview where he's like, "It's of course it's staged, of course it's made up. You think we're gonna tase every suspect every time?" And I was like, now I literally haven't watched one yet. Like I kind of knew the whole time that it was fake, but it's like the magician coming out on stage going, "All right, I can explain how I'm doing all this. It's not really magic, but enjoy." You're like, that doesn't work. The term is suspension of disbelief. I want to come into the Abbey and just feel like laugh and have a nice time and get
Right.
immersed in all the tentacles and the like everything that you do. You know what I mean? It's an interactive show.
Yeah. Yeah. We all want that immersion, don't we? We want to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to that's again why for me I focus on that.
Hmm.
It is so important. Another thing I studied was clown.
Hmm.
And with clown, at least from the perspective where I'm coming from, it is all about play, ferocious play, and abandoning yourself to that. And we all crave that. We all want that. And for me, it feels like we want that together.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
we I feel that. I feel like we want to be, Mavis Freestone. She's one of the keepers at the Abbey, and she's part of the Holy Trinity at the Abbey. There's Mavis Freestone, Cerise, and LT, and these three are like always at the Abbey, blessing the Abbey with their presence, and I love them so much. And lately, Mavis Freestone and I, we've been kind of fisticuffing a little bit,
Hmm.
kind of jabbing at one another, and you know, I, I, it's a lot of fun, because it feels like family. She said like this is what it must be like to have a brother.
Hmm.
And I didn't really have siblings growing up, and it's like yeah, yeah, I guess so. But I bring it up just because of that comfortability.
Hmm.
You know, it's like we all want to be in our home, or we all want to be in a place where we feel safe enough where we can jab at one another, and we can wrestle a little bit. We can immerse. We can go off on tangents, and we can do whatever the hell we want.
Right. Yeah.
Like as a
Yeah.
streamer, that's so exciting,
Hmm.
because in the moment you can conduct however you want, And that's what I love about it. Like the energy coming from the keepers, the Abbey-Knots, and all of the ideas. It's all a play, you know? And fuck, you know, like that's for me, it's like that's so much more rich than just me staring at a game.
Oh, it's night and day different. Yeah,
But
one way
yeah,
is actually enriching, and the other way is the exact opposite in terms of what it does to you mentally and energetically in your physical form.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And
I agree.
your brain doesn't know the difference either between a conversation like we're having right now over the internet and somebody sitting next to you having a conversation. Your brain processes the memory the same way. So
Hmm.
even like awake when you're dreaming and when you're awake, your mind doesn't know the difference between if you're awake or asleep. That's
Hmm.
not how we process thought. So you're talking about these individuals that have supported you streaming for all this time. These are real relationships you're having. These are
Yeah,
meaningful
IRL.
yeah, they are IRL relationships, even though you may have never met this person. They're these people. Your brain and body and emotions don't know the difference.
Yeah, that and for me in particular, I mean, you brought up about mental health earlier, and for me, I'm coming out of a period in my life where I was really isolating myself,
Mm.
um, um, just because of being hurt. I moved back to Idaho where I grew up. I was away for about 10 years, and I decided to move back home to reconnect with family and to really, that was my intention, reconnect with family and really find a support, a support system, because I want to create. I want to be a creator. There are things that I want to support for
Hmm.
that. It was heartbreaking, the experience moving back home. It was an incredibly dark time for me.
Wow.
Everything that I wanted, it was not there. It completely, uh, it was probably, yeah, the darkest time in my life. I lost so many friends, people that I thought were my really good friends. I realized that they weren't there for me at all.
Hmm.
Uh, Family members, I reached out to them, and there was no reciprocation, and that really hurt me a lot. It really affected me pretty deeply, and I isolated myself. I began to just, I made the decision for myself that I did not want people in my life that were just going to take from me and not give anything back, and pretend like it wasn't happening. And so I made that decision, and I'm glad I did, but it was an incredibly painful process, kind of shedding this kind of energy. Um,
Yeah.
for me, it was, and it was a really dark time, and so that isolating myself, was huge. Um, and then we decided, me and my sweetheart and my dogs, we decided to move the hell out of Idaho, get into Washington, and that was the start of something else. And that's about when I, started streaming on D Live.
Wait, you
And
moved to the Pacific Northwest from the middle of the country?
Idaho is
Oh,
right next to Washington there.
is
Yeah,
it? Oh,
yes.
wait. What?
It's in
Oh, I'm
between
thinking of
Montana and Washington.
Ohio. Ohio.
Right,
I
right.
was sorry. I mean,
No, it's all good.
I've hit my head a lot. So was living like your outdoor living? Did that really change that much, or more? Was it more of like a perceptual shift in your mind about life?
What do you mean outdoor living?
When you all right, so
Sorry.
you were where you were living, right, and then you moved to Washington. Was
Yeah,
like life so much different because like it was actually different outside, or was it more of a mental perceptual shift for you?
both,
Okay.
both. I think that wherever any one of us, like where we are geographically, whether or not we know it, it's going to affect us. Um, and
It does
for me,
flat out. I've written
yeah,
10 books. My very first book, the one thing I said was where you are when you go outside, it needs to make you happy. Right? That is the very first step to gaining control of your life and your reality. You have to be happy with where you live on a day-to-day basis.
hmm,
It's the foundation of everything. Because
Wow.
if you're not happy, if you don't want to go outside, you won't. And that's a
Right.
huge factor in being a physically healthy person, and mentally and emotionally and physically. That all very much, a lot of your emotions are actually in your gut, the chemicals and the things that are created. So that's based on how you're eating, right? How you're thinking, how you're living, if you're
All the
going
bugs
outside. Yeah, it's
and
kind
the
of
culture you have in there.
exact. That's what I'm saying. It's all
Yeah.
very much intertwined. But the very first step is, if you go outside and you don't like it, your life isn't going to work out for you. You have to move
Interesting.
somewhere where your body is happy with being outside.
Yeah, I agree with you so much. And that was a really hard lesson for me. That was my family, and I wanted to be near them and make that work. And boy, it just didn't. It just didn't at all. It was
No,
really
I'm
hard.
only sorry. I'm only laughing because I've this show is about you, but I will commiserate and say I very much went through a similar process,
Yeah,
moving, being near certain family, them going, I just don't have time for you.
right,
And you're like, I thought we were family. Like
right.
I don't think I understand family. I do understand family. It's not about me that didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you have to, like you said, that sucks. It hurts. I moved away for a year and isolated myself. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm okay now, right? And I moved, I'm buying a place. I'm very happy. I'm in a good spot, but it
Yeah,
took, like you said, it took that. I'm gonna go over here for a while and do my own thing and regroup and
right.
get a new focus on what family is, what friends are, what what life looks like for me, where I'm
Yeah.
happy. I mean, happy isn't an accident. It's
No, it's not.
a concerted effort and a perception.
Yeah. So good on you, Joe.
Well,
I'm
how
happy
about
for
you?
you.
Like, where are you in the process? You've moved to Washington now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've been here again, and it's a lot better for us. That's for sure. Again, I've met some. I was mentioning. Okay, okay. Unit 50, right?
You're cutting out
With
just a little bit. Can you move your
oh,
mic a little closer? I'm not sure if it's
yeah,
Gates or
yeah,
you may
absolutely.
just be rolling away from it a touch.
So I was mentioning Unit 55 earlier.
The movie.
No, where I work.
Oh, wait, is there? Oh, I'm thinking about the South African movie where they put all the aliens in the
District 5, District 9.
something.
Is
Yeah,
that it?
sorry, I just got confused. All right, say start over because I was confused. Where you work is called.
Unit 55.
Okay, there you go. I'm
So,
back on
and it's
track.
yeah, an escape room. An
Oh yeah,
escape
yeah.
room.
Escape rooms.
Right.
I'm not familiar with this. What any of that means?
Okay, so an escape room, basically, you pay money to go play a game. Uh, the game is escape from this room. There may be one room, a group of rooms. All the games are different. But yeah, it's just basically puzzle solving to
Oh,
escape a
okay,
room.
okay, okay. I for some reason I had in my head that this is some sort of a panic thing. Like escape room
Well,
meaning like if shit goes wrong, you go into this room and you'll be safe, right? Like a
okay,
safe
well,
room.
as far as Unit 55, there is panic involved because we do horror themed escape rooms.
Why
So
would anyone do this? Why what are I just I don't see the draw in scaring yourself senseless.
why not?
I
Why
like the
don't you?
idea of puzzle rooms, but not
Okay.
like the idea of Saw version, right? Like if you don't get it right, we're gonna cut your hands off.
Well,
I don't need
nobody
that
wants their
level
hands
of
cut off.
I don't need that level of commitment. You know what I mean?
Nobody
Like
wants their hands cut off, but we're talking about being scared. So you
yeah.
don't.
Well,
Is that
how do
what
you
you're?
induce fear with threats of violence or noise or like what sort of media are you using to entice this
It's the whole
chemical
show.
response in my
It's the whole show.
all right, all
It's
right.
it's the establishment of you know what we are. And again, in the U.S., Unit 55 is the first escape room where actors can come in and touch you and kidnap you.
What?
Yeah, it's the first
What?
of its kind.
Sorry.
It's been operating over 5 years.
I've
A
never
couple
heard
of
of anything like this.
yeah, a couple of years ago, there was an outfit down on. tried to claim like they were the first people to do it, and they had Ariana Grande, walking through there, getting their panties in a bunch, being scared by really lightweight stuff. But we do it properly. Okay, we're really scary. We are. We do a good job.
No, I
But
believe you 100%.
to answer your question, it's all about that. First of all, you know where you're going. So there's an anticipation with that part of
Sure,
it.
sure.
But every show is different. There's different
Oh,
themes. The one I'm wearing now, it's like a
okay, okay.
holiday show.
Okay, so
It is.
question, because I
Yeah.
know other people are thinking this. Is there, what's the difference between like that and a haunted house?
Okay. Good question. A haunt is, it's more like you go into a haunt. Classically, that's what it is. And you got things jumping out at you, and
So just kind of
it's kind of
jump scares,
right,
basically.
right. There's no puzzle solving element to a haunt
Hmm.
other than maybe like or something like this.
Oh, so actually, I just thought of a perfect example, which would be the difference between content creation and live streaming, right? Like
Hmm.
a haunted house is, we already know what's going to happen, go do it. Where what you're
Yeah,
seeming to describe is you're actually a part of what happens and why.
it's immersive theater. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's wonderful. I really love it.
I've never
Uh,
even heard of that thing. Escape room. So where is this located? In
Spokane
Washington
Valley.
State,
Yeah,
Spokane,
Spokane
Washington.
Valley, Washington. Unit 55, Haunt Cartel.
I gotta write that
Um,
down. Unit 55. Wow, that's crazy. That's now, could you live stream something like that
Working on it.
as a performance piece?
Working on it. Yeah.
That would be
We are actually
sweet.
working on it. Yeah.
It would be
It's going to be.
challenging with
Mhm.
audio and lighting and right all that sort of thing and legal rights disclaimers for the
Yeah,
people that be
legalities are
involved.
all taken care of. It's just the
Okay.
technical. You know how it is.
Yeah,
Streaming.
yeah. Make them
Yeah.
sign a "We won't sue you" and yes, you can use my image.
Oh yeah. You got to say waiver. Basically stating that like, hey, you will not hit the actors. You won't assault the actors. You understand that the actors can touch you. Can hood you. This kind of thing, and we're going to use your image for
No,
whatever kind of advertising it's going to be.
I
So
would,
that's all.
dude. That's a hard no for me. You hood
Why?
me, I'm
I want
gonna
to know
cut.
why, Joe.
You hood me, I'm gonna cut you, and I don't mean to. I won't even want to. It'll just be.
Well, I
Uh,
got right here. Just yesterday. That's the first show. Oh, excuse me. It was Saturday. The first show. Again, we're doing a holiday show right now, and I play a little Yule lad, a little elf, basically, and it really scares people. Um, and I scared a group of these girls, and I'm running through them, and somehow I got whipped with a zipper or something. You
mm.
know what I mean? So that's a part of the thing too. It being a scare actor is safety.
You wear
Safety,
like
safety, safety.
mouthpieces and stuff.
No, 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 no.
No, no, no. That would be too safe. We don't want to be.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
live on the edge. Crash helmets, elbow
We got to be
pads.
able to like speak and stuff like this. But
So this is
you
more
know,
than just being chased around with a chainsaw with no blade on it.
right. I mean, you asked how does the scare happen, and yeah, good question. That's a whole thing. And I really have been loving learning that how to scare people and play. Basically, it's like comedy. It's
Hmm.
playing with tension,
Sure.
is what it is.
Time. Well, comedy is what timing is all about.
Hmm.
Timing.
Right. So it's very much like scaring people. Another thing would be presence. Uh,
Mhm.
as a scare actor, it's easier to be like something like a zombie. Where you're running in, you're darting here, and you're darting there, and you're
Mhm.
quick. You're in, you're gone. It's different to be a kind of character where you're still and present. And that really scares people because they don't know what you're going to
Mm.
do. And so that's a whole skill in itself. It's like having that presence when there's all this, you know, adrenaline coursing through you and all these, vibes in the air where people are just scared. Just being, calm and present in that.
Lull
It can
them
be
into a
incredibly
sense of
effective.
safety and then get them. Is there any of
That's
that?
another tactic too. I
Hmm.
mean, there's just strategy, really a lot of fun, I
That's
find.
that's crazy. Like, what a fun thing to do with your time. You
Right?
know, like
Having fun. Yeah.
you could work doing a monotonous task where you count the hours and hate your job, or you could get paid and enjoy yourself.
I get paid to make people piss their pants, Joe. That's real. And we've had full grown adults piss their pants. One of the most amazing games I ever played. It was a show called H. Holmes, or sorry, The White City Devil. It was based on H. Holmes, and he was considered to be America's first serial killer.
Hmm.
Um, One of the best games that I played was with this group. We can have up to 10 people in the game. Oh my God, this guy. Our shows run about an hour long. This guy was just, I noticed him immediately. He was very vocal. He was like, okay, okay, yeah, got it, okay. And then, okay, get that thing, yeah, okay, now come on over here. Okay, go. He was just really vocal and engaged and present in the game. Everybody plays differently. And this guy was like,
Hmm.
whoa, what's this? He was also incredibly reactive.
Hmm.
He got scared so easily. And those are your targets. Those are who you really want to work with. Because again, that creates more fear for everybody else too. So playing with this dude was so much fun. And of course, I ended up kidnapping him. And I go in there, I put the hood on him, and the whole time he's talking, he's like, oh my God, oh dude, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're touching me there. Oh, what? Oh, wait, what are you doing? And I get him, there's this hole that I have to get him into. And it was hilarious too, because again, we're in Spokane Valley, Washington, predominantly white population. And the group coming in, again, we're all white. This is the only black guy. And that was the first thing he said when I hooded him. Was like, "Oh, of course you get the black guy. All right." So he was like, it was such a good sport. I got him. He's getting down like here. I'm trying like get on your knees. He's like here, and then he just drops like that, like just flat drops on his belly. And after the show, he was telling Mike, the dude who runs the games and creates them. He was saying, "Yeah, that guy, he put his knee on my back. He forced me down on the ground." And Mike was like standing right there with me. And he was like, "No, he didn't. You dropped. You
Yeah.
dropped. We saw you. You just went bump like that." He pissed his pants. He was so scared that this adult man pissed his pants. He gets stuffed in the box. He's got his own puzzle he's got to figure out. And he figures it out. He gets out. They all get out. They have an amazing time. The whole time, this guy, he was so positive. It wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even about being positive. So present and engaged. And he was so scared. That he was authentically, he was so scared that he actually. And every group we have, there's always a picture. We take a picture of them. And Mike showed me the picture of the whole group, and then there's the guy on the end, and he's just standing there like doing this.
Like,
Like
bruh. You know what's funny? I just remembered why I don't want to play your game. It's a very specific story. I was in the Marine Corps and we were training, like if we went overseas and had to enter a country where you don't know who's hostile and who's not. So there are multiple countries present, and then the Marines and the Navy, everybody, comes in, establishes a camp, determines who's hostile, who's not. You got to have humanitarian aid and all that. So there was the country of orange, the country of green, and then the assaulting force, right? Well, I was part of the country of orange. So in the middle of the night, we went to the Marines and we kidnapped. We thought we were kidnapping a Marine, and we're Marines, so we thought that'll go over well. What we didn't realize was we kidnapped the Navy SEALs officer, like their lieutenant. We like we hooded this guy, we bagged him, we got him back to our camp, and we tied him to a tree, all right, in the middle of the night. Just we didn't know he is like a Navy SEAL officer, and anyway, they didn't take it kindly. Uh, so they came into our camp in the middle of the night. We all got hooded, hog-tied, and beat senseless, and left. It's like they came and found us in the morning, all like beat up and and shit. And so that's how you learn that the Navy SEALs are awesome. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So like
oh my gosh.
I forgot all about that. Yeah. Anyway, that's how you learn. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think I want to play because
understandable. And thank you for knowing your limits. There's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people who come play these games that don't know their limits, or
Ah.
they just they sort of like push it on you, which is really gross. Like I've had groups come in, and one of the shittiest groups I ever worked with. They were terrible, terrible players. Um, and that's what's amazing about these games is that you really learn about people just from how they play a game.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, First of all, they just weren't very smart. They were incredibly rude. I felt really bad for the people in the group, and there were about three women who were just like this nasty coven. It was really bad energy. And I remember at one point, there was one person I singled out, and I didn't approach to go mess with her. And as soon as I did, I was encroached upon by two other people saying, "Oh no, 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 no! Oh no, don't do that! Oh no, she has PTSD! No, no, no!" And she's like doing this kind of thing, and it's
You're like,
like,
why are you here?
yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you do not belong in this game. Like, you do not belong playing an actual horror escape game. If you have
Yeah.
post
Yeah.
traumatic stress disorder and I can't even like mess with you, get out of
I
here.
don't even
So
I
yeah,
don't even watch scary movies, right? I know that's not my
right.
thing. So I wouldn't come to your show, right?
And we appreciate that.
I'm intrigued by what you do from a cultural anthropology perspective, right? Because that's
Yeah.
my thing. But I would never want to put myself in that situation.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good to
Yeah.
know. A lot of people, they very much don't want to do it. And a lot of the job that Mike has as the guy who builds games and puts them in the game is talking people into actually going through with it.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, everybody who does has a great time. Afterwards, they come out and they're like, "Wow, thank you." They even make a point to thank him. They're like, "Thank you so much. I didn't expect it to be that much fun." And a lot of them come back, you know, um, and that's a lot of fun to see that
That's awesome.
change.
All right,
Hmm.
before we lose everyone, I would like to talk about streaming, right? How to be a streamer, what that means, what it looks like. But I want to be specific in my approach with you in particular, and that is you started streaming on D Live with Steam It, right? Then you've streamed through Lino, and now you're this new thing. Have
Yeah,
you yourself changed as a streamer? Because I know you said in the beginning we're just like, well, let's just turn this on and figure it out, right? Well,
right.
once you figured it out and you had a name and a persona and you started streaming, you've still been streaming for long enough, right? A couple years enough to maybe redefine your character or how you stream or why you stream. Like, could you take us through what that looks like from going from not even knowing how to stream or what streaming looks like to who you are now as a streamer?
Okay. For me, first of all, it's about
It's about what you cut out.
keeping it simple.
Oh, okay.
It was a good thing for me to go by first. Again, like baby steps,
Hmm.
Kaizen. I didn't know what I was doing. I just pushed start. I got the game up on the screen, push start, and it all went from there. Um,
So don't
for me,
be. So I just want to interject as I hear
yeah,
points. So
please.
don't be scared to stream. Just start, and you could figure it out as you go.
Right.
Right? Don't be
Don't.
overwhelmed that there's a lot of fine details. Just go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't think about all that. Don't. Yeah, for me, it's like this is going to be your own thing. You might not know it, but it is. So yeah, you might as well just jump in.
So how
The
did you
sooner the
make the
better.
transition from, well, I'm streaming now to actually fine tuning your presentation?
Um, when I started to realize I was like, oh, this is something I want to keep doing. So the more time that I'm investing in it, the more time that I'm giving to it, and that first would just be the technical. Just making sure to do the best that I can to make with whatever I have, with whatever equipment I have or services that I have,
Mm,
both
mm.
time that I have to make sure that the stream is looking as good as it can, sounding as good as it can, that things are aesthetically pleasing, and yeah, just going from there. But yeah, paying attention to the technical, I think, is important. It gives me something to learn. You know what I mean? Like learn how to do it better.
Well, how did
Um,
you, your, something that really intrigues me about your stream is how interactive you are with cutscenes and right thing like custom stickers and gifs that are moving, the sounds that you use.
mhm.
How did that come about?
Just step by step. It's sort of like, again, I'm an idiot when it comes to streaming. I don't know what I'm doing, and I embrace that. I'm a beginner, and I'm also 2 years in. So there's no right way to stream, and I embrace that. For me, it's just sort of like a kind of like a niggling of what do I want to see. I might not know what it looks like, but what do I want to feel? What's fun? Just what's a fun idea? For example, like the word of the day. That was some,
I love the word of the day.
yeah,
Because I grew up with like reading Rainbow and stuff like that, right? 3, 2, 1 contact, and right, and so that was always like a real thing, right? Sesame Street, and there's the letter of the day and the number of the day and the word of the day, and then you're like, word of the day, Google garble, blah blah blah. And I'm like, wait, what? it's such a it's such an awesome. I don't know. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just love it. It's such a great. It's such a little thing
right,
that you added that is so has such a meaningful impact.
right. As you say, it's a little thing, and that's what I mean about keeping it simple. It's just like, oh, here's an idea. I like words. I like to learn different words. Look at how many wild, how many crazy, just insane amount of words that we don't, I've never heard of these words. Um, let's just focus on that. How do I do that? What's that look like? We need a letter. We need the letter for the word. How do I set that up on OBS? Just making it all work. Just grabbing a GIF that matches the word, set it up on your stream deck, and you got a little sequence,
Mhm.
in your stream. And I guess that's for me. You mentioned Sesame Street and Reading Rainbow, and yeah, like for me, it's like streaming is this opportunity to with as best as you can, like create your own little show, and that can be whatever you want it to be. Um, doesn't even necessarily have to have a point.
Have fun, right? Like I
Yeah,
keep hearing you say that, and that's actually a reoccurring theme I find on your show is I'm having a good time. You can join me if you want.
yeah, please
I
do.
I dig it. Yeah, right. Please do. Please do.
Yeah. And you talked about happiness and how it's not, what did you say? It's not free or it's not
It's
something
not
you
an
feel.
accident.
It's
It's
not an accident.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yo, what a crazy cool thing. What a crazy cool opportunity to learn how to have a good time with
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Learn how to play. I think that's really important for us to learn how
Well,
to play
that's
games
so
too.
hard. It's so hard. It really is, Vector. Think about how we've been socially conditioned to be appropriate. right? And what that means, and don't offend anyone. And it's like, I just want to have a good time. I don't want to think about any of that. I want to play. I want to interact freely in the moment, right? I don't want to be constrained. And I'm genuinely, and I can tell you are too, genuinely a good-hearted person. So what you're gonna get from me in the moment is gonna be good. I'm even a happy drunk. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're always gonna get something positive.
That's, I mean, and I think that's really huge because that's huge. Learning how to trust, learning how to trust yourself and just
Mm.
trust the moment,
Hmm.
and being secure with the moment and
Be
who you are.
spontaneous. Be willing to be spontaneous. I think is
Right.
part of what you're saying too.
Right. To be available to the moment so that we
Mm,
can be
exactly.
spontaneous. And yeah, we need to take care of ourselves, so that we are, grounded and healthy and present. Because I feel, especially with something like streaming, um, it's easy to get, I don't know, it's easy to get like to get those ideas kind of like carried away. Um, a lot of ideas, a lot of information, and it,
Hmm.
it moves so fast. That for me, another sort of quality about the Abbey that I really appreciate, and especially lately that I'm really proud, is slow, just being present and allowing there to be stillness so that there can be breath, that it doesn't have to be this all the time. And that actually
Hmm.
that's nothing. That's nothing, that's just like beep, that's flatline. Life is a wave, and it's changing. We were talking about change earlier. Um, that for me is one of the joys of being live, streaming with people, is just being present and not worried about, oh, you know there's got to be some kind of business at all times. Like,
Well, I find
okay,
there are some streamers that can get away with that, right? But
oh yeah, sure,
right,
sure.
but so like there are some people they play the same game every day during the same hours. You expect a certain result because that's what they normally give you. You know what I mean? It's very much kind of a preconditioned show, I
Hmm.
think. And I've I don't find that for me personally to be nearly as fulfilling as being a variety streamer where I might play a game today. I'm probably not going to play the game I played last time you saw me online, right? I might not I might just chat, I might sing and I'm not a good singer. Like I'm going to do I'm going to do what the moment says is going to bring me joy and hopefully those that are joining me. That's what I found to do with live streaming. Because if I, like when I was trying, I streamed for over 100 days straight when I first started streaming because I
Hmm.
thought I had to or something. I don't know what that grind you hear, be on the grind, get on the grind. What grind? Why? Where are we going? Like there is,
Right.
I don't have an end goal. There is no end game. I'm doing it because I like what I'm doing right, like every time.
Yeah.
I think that's important to say though. Too many new streamers have this idea that there's a grind, right? If you
Yeah, I think it's a generational thing too, and it's this idea of, and I'm stealing this from David Lynch. He talks about how, and he does speak about a generation that sort of is more focused on the fruit
Hmm.
and not so much the soil. And you really need to tend to your soil if you want that fruit. But we're so obsessed with fruit and easy, instant gratification. Now.
Hmm.
And I don't know. For me, like, that's just noise anymore. Like, I don't have the energy for that.
Well, but there, I think that's a strong argument and statement because let's say pre-computers, pre-internet, all this sort of thing. It was still very much like this is going to be hard work. It's going to take some time, and when we're done, you're going to be proud of yourself because it took hard work and effort and time, right? And now there's this idea that building something like live streaming and a live streaming community, even individually as streamers, but also like the whole platform, that it could somehow be done now, right? Like, well, no, hard work, time, effort, trial and error, right? Like readapting to new parameters. That's how you do it. It doesn't. It's not an accident. It's not like you actually said something earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt you. You said I'm a new streamer. I've only been streaming for 2 years. I know people that started streaming, thought they were OGs, and quit streaming in less time than that. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like
I'm kind of on more of a,
more
like
of a what?
just a long wave,
Right, right. Well,
you
there.
know, kind of
That's
like a long game. Again, if I'm going to invest this, invest as much time as I have, it's for a damn good reason at this point in my
right,
life. Like
right.
I'm 38, and that's just where I'm at now.
Hmm.
So no, I have no plans at all. Again, these are just plans, of walking away from streaming just because, oh, I'm not getting any more donate, whatever. Like, that's kind of boring to me. I'm just gonna get back
I
into that
mean,
game with my people.
I could totally like I can totally see both sides of that argument, right? Like
Sure.
for us, we enjoy live streaming, and whether anybody's in the channel or not, we're live streaming, right?
Right.
We're saying it makes it more enriching when there are more people or any people, right, interacting. That's more enriching, but our goal is to live stream. We're doing that like right now, right? So and I didn't have to pay D Live to live stream on their platform. This is free. So in terms of value, I'm getting the better end of the deal,
I
right?
agree.
That I am. That's why I was willing to invest in Lino. That's why I'm willing to do whatever D Live asked me to do. We'll go on different social media platforms and talk about it. Okay, sure. Right? I didn't use Twitter before. I'll use Twitter. Yeah, why not? I didn't use Discord before. I'll sign up for Discord. And everything they've asked me to do has helped me personally with my channel. Right? They were right. This stuff works. It helps. So
Right.
they helped me help myself. I didn't know that's what was happening. Right? They said, here's what we want you to do. And instead of going, I don't want to do that, I'm like, there must be a reason, right? Because I don't know how to live stream. I never have done it before. I don't know anything about crypto or blockchains or tweeting or, I
Right.
learned all of that really in the last year.
Yeah. Same here. And yeah, same here. Like, especially with Twitter. Like, the only reason I use my Twitter now is just for D Live. Just interacting with my community there.
Yeah,
And
so I love this. I love what we're doing. I love where we're at. I love that you've been here since Steam. You've seen these different blockchains, you've seen the different tokens and cryptos, and that there's a new one coming, and you're just like, okay.
hey, I think it's great. Like for me, it's like
Like,
another
yeah.
opportunity. And I trust D Live. I don't know. I just
Mm,
trust
mhm.
that D Live. You were talking about they know what they're doing. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and trust D Live in continuing to know what they're doing. And let
Yeah.
them carry that ball. And I'm gonna focus on what I need to focus on. And
Hmm.
in the meantime, learn more about cryptocurrencies. Learn about Tron.
Well,
Learn about
and
Justice
something
Fund.
that I think we should say out loud, which is there's too many people that just want to sound important, right? I've got an opinion about this. Why? You have no empirical data to back up what you're saying. You've never
There's a
done this
lot of that.
yourself. You have no history. You don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking about. You're trying to sound important. You know what I mean? That shit drives
absolutely.
me crazy. I try not to get mad about stuff because most stuff doesn't matter. But then when I hear like, I'm so important. No, and also you don't know what you're talking about. Like, shh, go do something else now because
Yeah,
you're just clogging up our space with noise.
yeah.
Like
Signal to noise. Yeah.
either be on board or don't. I don't care. I don't, you know what I mean? I wish you all the best if you're not on board, but don't pretend like you know. Because even
Yeah.
guys, look at Vector Abbott, guys. This guy's been on D Live since Steam It. He's been on here for several years. He's seen these changes. He could have an opinion. He's been here long enough to formulate an opinion based on facts and experience, and still is like, I don't have an opinion. I don't know how to build a streaming website. I'm just gonna do me, which is be a good streamer. You know, like I find that noteworthy, and dude, I'm so happy that you agreed to be on the show because of your, dude. Because I forgot to turn the alerts down, by the way, and obviously all the boys are showing up to support us.
What's up, y'all? What's up, dude? Epic.
All of these guys have all been on the show. I mean, you guys are all part of the first 50 Fireside Chats. Today's number 50 with Vector Abbott. And the last several that I've done, I specifically chose streamers that have been here since Steam It, that have been on the platform the longest, right? Because you guys have seen this stuff change before. Oh, and guess what? Things got better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're changing. Good. Opportunity for growth.
About that, though, you know?
What's that?
That's what's amazing to me to get.
You cut it. You're cutting. Your mic's cutting out again. I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, it just seemed, we're speaking about a lot of positive things happen for people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it here on D Live,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of people kind of instantly forget all of it.
Dude, it's totally that. What have you done for me lately? I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, just yesterday, a gentleman on D Live woke up, found his dog had been run over, had major problems with its leg, had to immediately take it into surgery. The D Live community started finding out about it. Everybody started hosting him. There was 20,000 plus in donations. Hundreds of dollars in donations while I was in there. I mean, the community immediately came together and was like, let's help this guy in a real way.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. Because that. And they were all talking about the D Live community and how incredible it is.
Mm-hmm.
And why. And like, because it's not about what the company is doing to be a company, right? What blockchain, what crypto, it's not about that. It's about me and you, right? It's about the people like Merch and Noob and all these people here. It's because we're awesome. We are D Live. We, the community, are D Live. The streamers, the viewers, and we're awesome.
Mm-hmm. And we're even more awesome together, which is that experience in life as far as being brilliant, shining brightly, being happy. It's just a reality that there's a lot of people to attack that and that really don't want you to be happy.
I never understood
if they can't get a part of that. If they can't be a part of that, then they're going to try and tear it down. It's just that's been my experience anyway.
See, and I maybe because of my autism stuff, but I never understood that because for me, it's based on value, right? Am I getting value? Well, yeah, it's free, and I'm making money. So that's way better value. I don't have to pay. Am I getting right with that whole conversation? Well, is this all a scam? Well, scams, they try to take things from you, and here they're just giving you shit for free.
That's what I love about it, Joe. It's scams. Somehow, right? All of these fundraisers happen. People get paid. People get some, people get their rent paid. People get, some surgery for their dog that's desperately needed. I did a fundraiser here at the Abbey for our Venezuelan brothers and sisters, our family down there, they were going through a lot. They still are. But it was just that crunch. They were in that crunch, that emergency moment. And same thing. The D Live community pulled together and whomp. All of a sudden, you've got a way to get currency to people in a country where you wouldn't normally be able to. You can't send them money. It doesn't get to them. You can't send them food. It doesn't get to them. But guess what? D Live got currency to them. And that's the kind of scam that I want to be a part of.
Right.
I want to be that kind of scam.
Dude, we had Killer Queen over Christmas, right? She needed money to repair her wheelchair and her bed. D Live
Mm-hmm.
raised a couple $1,000 between GoFundMe and D Live donations in 3 days. Like that, right? Like little Noah needed his bearded Leo had this child in his neighborhood that needed major surgery and born without ears, micropecia, I think, and had to have ear surgery to actually put ears on and hear and all that. D Live helped raise thousands of dollars for that kid's surgeries. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
what a
Like we're
scam. What a scam,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Like if you wanna know why I got angry and did a couple angry streams in the end of December where I was telling people to shut the fuck up, either support the company, support the family, or piss off. It's because these people really mean something to me. The D Live community, you, right? Like these are my family. You guys have treated me better, like in a real way over the last year, than most of my friends and family ever. Literally.
That's real, dude. No, I feel that. I really do. I feel that, Joe.
Yeah. Wait, what is Fatheaded Noob saying? He's maybe teaching stuff, and that's what the show's about.
Yep.
So I forgot to turn my alerts down in Tidy Labs before the show. He's saying right click alerts in the OBS, scroll to the box that says control audio with OBS, check the new volume comes up for alerts, and adjust them on the fly. Okay. Okay. Let's well, I know how to refresh cache of current page, but I don't really understand. Right-click alerts in OBS. In the under scenes or sources, I would imagine under scenes, right?
Yo, Joe, I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. All right, so Mr. Noob's trying to teach me something here. Scroll to the box that says control audio with OBS. Okay, so that's the part that I'm having trouble finding. Or transform, hide mixer, filtering. Properties, maybe? Under properties, that's just where I refresh the cache, but I don't actually find right click alerts, then properties. Okay, under properties, yeah, that's where it just local file, control audio via OBS. Oh, you have to select that box and click OK. All right, now how do I actually control the volume at this point? Because I selected that box where I can do that, but how do I actually do that? Yep, then you see it where your volumes are. Oh, okay, so I'll have to scroll down. Browser alerts. Oh my God. All right, somebody donate something so I can see if it worked. Drop that ninjet, noob. Let me see if this if I did it right. Well, that's not useful information there, guy. So I'm just gonna do that. Boom. Oh my God, you're the bestest friend ever, noob. Look how handy that it. Thank you very much, by the way, merch. Yeah, you guys nailed it, man. You're so awesome, every one of you. Look at that, the D Live fam just loving and helping on each other. Wait. All right, so dude, seriously, like that's amazing because I've literally like cried. It hurts so bad in my head sometimes when the noises kick up. That's fantastic because it takes a lot of focus to actually go into OBS Studio. I mean, go into Tidy Labs, right? Change all the alerts, save it, go back into OBS, refresh the cache. Dude, Fatheaded Noob just taught me how to change my alerts in OBS instead of having to change the volume in Tidy Labs.
Nice. I didn't know how to do that.
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
you basically right click on the alerts, go to properties. There's an option to allow OBS to control the alerts volume. once you select that, in the middle, if you have the audio mixer up where you can see, your volume spiking,
Right.
it's going to be in that list. So I have
Okay.
like my mic, I have my guest mic, and then now I have browser alerts as one of those options, and I can just move the slider.
Nice. Thank you,
Freaking
dude.
amazing. Oh, guess who showed up, dude? Guess who showed up?
Yo, another.
Eric Wilson showed up. Eric, I'm sorry we didn't schedule the show yesterday. I didn't know. Also, I already promised Vector Abbott show number 50.
Yeah,
So,
Eric, you're trying to get in on number 50, buddy. Trying to move in on the 50 spot, bro.
yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha, Eric.
Yep. 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 But Eric
You know, you put him on the hot seat.
Eric Wilson will be on Fireside Chats next Sunday in a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
51.
Well, you may be 51, Eric. There might be one in between now and next Sunday. I don't know. That's a whole
53.
week. Yeah, you're definitely on the show. So that's awesome. I love how many of the original OG D Live streamers have been here through all the different platforms and changes, they're all still here and they're all still positive. That core group is like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's getting better. It's clearly better.
Yeah, there have been at least that have moved away from the platform. I understand, why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss them,
Dude,
but I do
we've lost
appreciate
some
the
streamers that
yeah.
hurt. You know what I mean? We've lost some streamers that really mean a lot to me from the D Live platform, and hopefully they come back later. And obviously, they're always welcome to come back. We'd love to have them back. And I wish all of them luck that have moved away.
Oh yeah,
100%. There is no ill will, but we're just saying it's not the D Live community is as strong as ever. Where there is zero problems there, and we also believe with our limited knowledge that the company is doing the right thing, what's best for live streaming and decentralization, and that this is going to really help D Live in the long term.
yeah. I'm confident, to leave that to the people who know from experience.
Right? That's a great way to say that. That's such a great way to say that. I'm willing to leave that to the people who actually know.
Right. Well, yeah. Again, from experience, not just
Yeah,
like, oh,
right.
this would be an idea. Let me do some reading on that.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah. No, they actually built it, and they were building it. So thank you, D Live.
yeah. I think it brings me a lot of joy, D Live and live streaming, right? Those two things. So I feel gratitude towards D Live as a company because they allow me to do that, right? Like and are clearly taking steps to make sure I can keep doing that in the future. That's great. I don't understand how you wouldn't be filled with gratitude.
Well, I've heard that that's kind of like a hack. If you want to put it that way, if you're feeling a lot of anger, for example, something to do is focus on things that you're grateful for. Because apparently, I'm not sure. Apparently, there's some science behind it. But if you're feeling gratitude, really feeling gratitude, you can't feel anger. It's kind of like one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's a good point. Maybe perhaps a lot of the people who are really angry about it, maybe they're not so grateful, or maybe they're just not focusing on something to be grateful for. And I can relate with that. But again, for me, Vector Abbott, you're talking about the meaning of names. A meaning for me, and that is, it's really of the utmost importance where one pays attention, where one gives your attention, and what you're giving attention to, and the quality of that. I think that's huge. And so this is something I'm trying to practice more of in my life, is focusing on things that I'm truly grateful for.
There's actually a streamer on D Live that's his entire show, and it's called Gives a Minute. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I love Gives a Minute.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, his name is so amazing, because I was like, Gives a Minute. That's an interesting name, because he was showing like him surfing, right? Like surfing videos, which attracted my attention. I'm a lifelong surfer. And when I got to his stream, it was all about, I respect you because you're here with me right now, and I'm going to give
Yep.
you my full attention because I respect you and that you're spending your time with me. And I'm
Hmm.
just like, I know that, right? I know to be mindful, I know to be in the moment, but he articulates it so well. I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm again grateful that he's on D Live, that he's a part of our community and family.
Me too. I think I haven't seen a lot of his streams, but the few I have, they're pretty, potent, and he's pretty
Yeah,
sharp. He really has
yeah.
got some great production going on as well, as far as the
And
quality
he,
goes.
I like how he does certain things. Like he has his the Jack behind me, right, which is always some high, like nice bottle of whiskey or something sitting on the counter behind him. And the donation goals are the community, his community chooses what bottle they all want to taste test together,
Yes.
and all the
Yes.
donations go to buying that next bottle, for him to drink on stream, and then they all drink and talk. It's like it's such a niche little thing, right? And it's there have been plenty of streamers drink on stream and in a bad way, right? Donos
Hmm.
for drinking get smashed. It becomes this self-harm thing, which is actually against the community standards. But the way he does it, it's like it's the interactive part of the show, right? And it's an enrichment feature versus some sort of a negative. It doesn't have any negative context, I think, with him. Very well done in that fashion.
Yeah, I dig that guy. I really, yeah, in talking about his streams where he just go, and I've seen that a little bit. I haven't actually seen the stream where he goes out and he drinks, but he was talking about the idea of it, and I love that. I love that. That's something I would like to take the Abbey to, as far as being a streamer goes. I think that would be a next step for me is taking it away from gaming
Mm.
and
Hmm.
going, out somewhere
I
to
would
have
like to
more
do that
streams.
too. Actually, I
Yeah.
just had my outbuildings hardwired for internet because
Hmm.
I want to be working in the raised bed gardens and aquaponics and all this, and I think people would enjoy that.
Yeah, I
Right?
think
And
that'd be
I would
wonderful.
enjoy that better, right? If I could have the same interaction with you guys, but be standing, be outside, breathing clean air, right? Have my hands in the soil. That's that sounds awesome. That's it. I would
Yeah,
be even happier and provide an even better show.
like some real life Stardew Valley. Wow, wow, you can really grow food. Wow.
Well, what's interesting, because I saw a streamer on D Live do this, and I thought it was a pretty clever way to do it. They have a farm and they have animals, right? So they're tending to their animals and stuff, and they walk around and film it. Then they play it on their computer later, live stream it using a screen capture, and they're in
Hmm.
chat talking to people
Right.
like when they ask, oh, what's that goat's name? Oh, that goat's name's Harry, right? So it feels interactive, except they're not having to stop what they're doing to come over and read chat and type and all that.
That's
So
great.
yeah, it was like it's I thought it was brilliant because
Hmm.
you can't, how do you do an IRL stream and maintain that communication with the audience? Well,
Right.
that's a really great way to do it,
Hmm.
right? In a way that you can't have your computer screen like this because you're, feeding animals or whatever. I don't know. It's just there's all these little things I've learned by supporting other streamers, by going to other channels. I actually have started. I don't know if this is a good thing to say or if the right thing to say, but I'm me, so I'll say it anyway. I almost enjoy my time more in other people's channels now than streaming myself,
Hmm.
right? Because
Why is
streaming takes a lot of
that?
work, right? It's
Yeah.
physically demanding, it's mentally demanding, it's
Right.
draining on the energy, right? It's a lot more effort, and I get almost as much fulfillment out of watching somebody else put on a high quality stream,
Hmm.
right? The interaction with them, the interaction with the chat, because obviously a lot of us know each other now. No matter what channel we're in, we're having
Hmm.
the same conversation because it's we're all friends. So yeah, part of it is like you hit on this earlier in the show, which is if you're not feeling it, don't turn on the camera, right? Like make sure to take care of yourself so you can put
Yeah,
out a good show. So I would rather host somebody who's putting out a good show, who clearly has the energy and is, doing a great job. Host them and interact in their chat. I feel that's a more productive use of my time on D Live than trying to force a live stream that's going to be mediocre at best.
right. And it's, most likely you're not going to stream either.
Yeah.
But, again, I think it really just is about primarily just taking care of yourself first and foremost.
Mm.
So, even if I am not feeling so great, um, that's something that streaming also helps me out with, Joe.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm
Hmm.
able to, uh, I'm able to be in a space where I might be sad. I might be struggling with depression. I might be really incredibly frustrated by something. Um, Streaming helps me with that because
Hmm.
I, it's, I can find there is a place for me where I can just play and be
Hmm.
present in that way and be with people. And again, it's a social thing.
Very
And
much so.
it's like again, speaking back to that isolation, for me in particular, it's very, very refreshing, just to
Me too.
finally be right, like this, Joe. Like, thank you again for inviting me on to the fireside chat. Like something like this, like, geez, a year ago, a couple of years ago, when I wasn't streaming, this would just be impossible,
Sure.
in
Yeah.
so many,
Hmm.
like, that's just where I'm at. Like, there was just nobody to talk to in these ways,
Mm.
and
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so it's like water, in that way. And for me, I mean, we are social creatures, like we do need one another. And man, I get so much from the keepers and the Abbey Knots, my community. They help me out, and I don't even think they know it, maybe, but I just don't know if they know the effect they have on me and how they help me, throughout a day or a week, just be happy, and find some
Hmm.
room to play a little bit, and again, be rambunctious, Um,
I like that, and I think it's a good thing to point out, which is the the live
sorry.
streaming can be actually positive for you mentally. It could also be negative for you mentally, right? That's up to you. So
Yeah.
I would you've been streaming long enough now. What are some things that you've seen or done, maybe even yourself, that have affected your ability to stream in a negative way, right? Like, what are some things to avoid, either physically, mentally, right? That won't help you as a live streamer in terms of longevity.
Right. Again, just for me, it's just the basics, like eat
Hmm.
food, eat good food, drink water, make sure you've got enough sleep. Yeah, and I guess for me, more and more, it's about, gosh, we were kind of talking about this. I was kind of talking about this with Eric earlier. Kind of the idea of putting yourself in uncomfortable places,
Hmm.
um, and
Hmm. Be willing
making
to
it.
be wrong,
That's
right?
a good one too. Yeah, absolutely. Be willing to be willing to do things that you're not used to doing, and always be willing to fail.
Hmm.
Like that's
Hmm.
huge. And I'm sorry, but if any one of us is going to sit here and pretend like we don't fail, like get over yourself. That's all anything is, really. Um,
Well,
you
and
know,
you'll learn it, these aren't my words, but you'll learn more from failure than from success. That's
yeah,
which is very I've found that to be true.
hmm yeah. So I mean, just yeah, just those basic needs need to be covered for sure.
So don't
Um,
forget that are also a human being and have a physical body.
and that's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy to get. Again, I was talking
Mhm.
being online. I mean, we were talking about, a whole life online. And yeah, I think it's easy to get carried away into these worlds, whether it's
Hmm.
gaming or social media or watching this show, binge watching that, whatever the hell it is. That's fine. That's fun. It certainly is exciting. It's a great time to be alive. That's why
Hmm.
I feel like it's so much. It's really important for you to be sort of aggressive, if you will, in pulling yourself away from that, and finding a
Yeah.
balance, like do something else, um, even though it's comfortable and it's fun, that's great.
Hmm.
Be willing, keep building an appetite for pushing and finding that kind of being uncomfortable, but in a
Hmm.
way where you're kind of surfing it and you're not letting it overwhelm you. You know,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
you're a
like that.
surfer, so yeah.
But also, like what you said makes sense too. Is like I spent the last year that, or the since I've been on D Live, I was living in a condo on the lake, and there really wasn't anywhere I could get outside on a daily basis, right, for activity and enrichment. And I literally saw my health decline in that year because I wasn't properly taking care of my physical form. Right? I was trying. I was getting sunshine. I was going out of the house at least once a day, even for little things. Um, but in the couple months I've lived on this farm, where I'm walking through the woods, right, and I'm clearing land and I'm playing with the dog and I'm like real things, real energy and being tired, and I've noticed immediately my health and mental well-being has improved, like dramatically.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and you the people that are the saddest and most depressed don't know they are, right? Like it, and sometimes we have to help, like as friends, go, I don't know, man, you don't seem like you're doing well. Like, how are you feeling? Like, are you okay? And this community, I've seen that happen with D Live, right? Like, I
Hmm.
reached out to a live streamer, another military guy, and D. You don't look like you're doing well. I'm not. You know what I mean? And he told me why, and come visit. He came and spent a week at my house and just
Oh
relaxed
wow,
and hung out at the lake.
wonderful.
We did some streaming together, right? And
Wow.
now I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for everybody, right?
Right, right.
Or for every situation, but in this case, I'm a military vet. He's a military vet. I just moved from Tennessee. He's living in Tennessee, right? There's all these correlations where we both felt like there wasn't any threat, that it was only a positive thing, and it turned out to be an incredibly positive thing, right?
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's important, if you feel like somebody's not doing well, ask them how they're doing. It's important.
Yeah, and also in the same measure, if you're not feeling well, it's a real skill reaching out. Reaching out is a skill, and
Yeah, it's
it's something to
hard.
be
It's
aware
hard
of.
to
It
ask for
is.
help when you need it
Yeah,
sometimes.
I know
Yeah.
for me, that's really been a difficult thing for me in the past, and it's something I'm learning how to do more and more.
Hmm.
And boy, does it feel good,
Well, and what's cool is, like, a good friend. I've had some D Live streams where I was kind of bummed out for whatever reason, and I go, I bet if I stream, my community, we're gonna show up, we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna forget about why I'm even bummed out, right? And I'm gonna feel better. And that happens. It works. A lot of times that's exactly what happens. You forget what you're even bummed out about. Oh, life ain't that bad. Actually, I'm having a good time now. you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not used to that. Like that was
Uh,
the idea,
mm,
in life is like, hey, get yourself some friends,
mm,
hey, so you can do the friend thing and go have the barbecues and go play disc golf, like do that thing, like I've had,
yeah.
I've had some, friends kind of come and go, but not like a real group of friends. And
Mhm,
for me, T Live is that. And so you're
mm,
goddamn right, advantage.
mhm,
Like for me, I'm hyped up. Like it's like, Eric, you were here. There was this. Gosh, it was when Red Dead Redemption came out, Red Dead
mhm,
Two,
mhm,
and I was streaming, playing the game, and all of a sudden, all these people came through to the Abbey and making crazy ass donations, like one after another. And I'm pretty sure Eric was there. It broke me, you know. It just blindsided me. All of that positivity, you know, and it just started coming out of me. And it was just the truth of like, yo, do you all know what this means? You don't. You have no idea. Like for years, almost over 10 years, almost over a decade, I've been looking for a community to create with and play with. And I gave up. And when I gave up, I found D Life. And D Life found, you know, and it was just, you know, it was totally out of my hands. And it happened. And so, yeah, and that's me. And so, yeah, I'm pretty biased. And also, D Live is an amazing platform, but I love my community. And so, yeah, and also in that way, when a part of that goes away or goes to another platform, of course it's kind of tender, you know. It's like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, you know.
Yeah, and I put out a tweet, I don't know, a couple of days ago that I wasn't trying to be rude, but I basically said in very specific terms, I will not support any streamer on any other platform other than D Live, right? And it's not about the streamers individually that have chosen to leave to go to other platforms. It's about my respect for D Live and the D Live community. If I'm going to spend my time online watching a live streamer, I also want the D Live community involved, right? Like the other people that are in chat are so much a part of it, right? Because a lot of times the streamers get busy, right? You get caught up in the game or whatever it is that you're doing. So, and really a lot of the enrichment you're getting from the other people in chat, right? So
Yeah.
if you're not on D Live, that's gone. Right now, it just comes down to the strength of the individual streamer. Can they hold your entertainment time, right? Like alone. A lot of times, no. You know, like that's what I've learned over the last couple of years as a consumer of live streaming, is like it takes more than just the streamer to have a good time. It takes the interaction of the community, and I understand this community. I'm a part of this community.
You damn right. You're
Yeah.
damn right. And that's why I think, you know, community, whether or not we see it or not, that's what we're all in. Okay. Whether or not we're going to be acknowledge that, whether or not we're going to be grateful for that, we all do need one another. And I tell you what, I still can't watch streamers just because they're like, you know, they're them and that's it.
Right,
You know,
because they're
like
famous. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
I
with you.
can't. It's just not interesting to me, and that's sort of what I associate streaming with, and kind of came to understand what it is more and more. That's, you know, again, this is me. I like community, you know.
But that's why I also said earlier in the show, I don't understand people that would stream and not interact with their audience. Like, I feel like you don't even understand what live streaming is, right? Like, really, like, if you want to be famous, go be an actor, go
Right.
be in movies, go be on television, make YouTube
Yeah,
videos,
and good luck
right?
with that. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. But if like live streaming is about the interplay between the streamer and the audience, and like you said earlier, it's about that unknown variable. Well, anything could happen. That's why I'm here. You know?
That's exciting. That's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's almost like that third space, or just that, again, the possibilities.
Exactly. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
grateful for D-Live, because they've given me the possibility of this reality. Like this, because I saw Twitch before D Live, right? I saw Facebook streaming, I saw YouTube stuff before. I didn't see Mixer till after, but I wasn't taken by it at all. I would rather watch a YouTube video than a live streamer on some of these other platforms. It just, if I want content on demand, I'd rather get exactly the content that I think I'm going to get. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
If we can be interactive, then there's always the possibility of something that I don't know, and that's awesome.
Hmm. And that, yeah, that for me is what it has nothing to do with like shoving my business card up your nose.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
learning together. You
Hmm.
know, like Noob comes through and he drops a, hey, and like when Noob visited the Abbey, first time he came through a couple of times, same thing. He was just very helpful in sharing his knowledge
Hmm.
with streaming. That's just one example, but for me, it's an important part of streaming and being in a community is sharing that knowledge.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I would have never gotten to where we are right now with 50 shows if Fat-Headed Noob hadn't shared his wisdom with me on how.
yeah,
Because I've watched him do his shows, right? His live panels, and I've been on his show. Matter of fact, we did my show for 4 hours, then we did his show the next day for 4 hours. We want to
wow,
do another show. We want to do an X Tag show for at least 4 hours, just so we can talk more openly about whatever.
hmm,
Um, but it's I learned so much when I came. LT Zonda brought me over from Twitch when he switched to D Live, right? And I modded for him for 2 months every day, religiously for 2 months. I learned so much about streaming from him, and he had been doing it like 8 years previous. It created a
right,
company just to help people stream, and he
wow,
was helping me learn how to stream because I was a part of his community and daily, right, was daily a part of his stream. And when he
yeah,
was on the other platform, we played games together, we hung out and stuff. But I never wanted to stream. I never saw the value in it, right? And then when we were on D Live for a couple months, he was pushing me. What, dude? You should stream. You're a great member of the community. People want you. And I was like, oh, that seems like a valid reason to stream, right? Like, I don't care if you know who I am. I don't want to be famous. I don't need your money. I don't need, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather be quiet and alone. I really enjoy quiet and alone.
right,
But the community was like, I want to be a part of this. This actually enriches my life. I I want to do more of that. And that's what the streaming allowed me to do. Was it like become a bigger part of the community.
hmm, yeah, and it's amazing. And here you are, 50 shows in already,
Right?
already.
That's
Yeah,
that's amazing. And wait, far more streams than that, but 50 of these live podcasts.
yeah. I think I'm coming up on my 400, Eric. I'm coming up on my 420th stream.
How do you wait? So are you know that's a pretty particular number, right?
Yes,
420. Is that
right.
going to be an X tag stream? You,
Oh,
you,
I doubt it. I'll probably just, but I noticed it.
I mean,
Like
you live
just
in the
throwing it out there.
Pacific Northwest, and
Right, right.
it's show 420. I'm just saying.
Yeah, maybe I should rethink that.
I
I
mean,
think
if you were ever going to pick a time to see what it was
right.
all about, you know,
You have any ideas for that?
oh, a ton of them. I've
Yeah.
been
Okay.
I never had that marijuana before a doctor recommended it as medication. Like I
Hmm.
got medically retired from the Marine Corps in 2002, 2003 a doctor said, "Hey, try this." So to
Hmm.
me, I don't understand the hype. It's just medicine, right? Like I don't get why people make such a big deal about it. So maybe it's naivete, but I've got like 17 years of experience seeing it help people with Parkinson's and Crohn's and epilepsy and cancer and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pain management, anxiety.
Hmm.
I could give you countless examples, even in my own life, how it's helped me. So, yeah. And also, sometimes it's just fun to be stoned. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Smoke a joint, laugh till your belly
Hmm.
hurts. That's
Yeah.
really good for you sometimes.
It's really helped me mostly just in dealing with anxiety. It's been
Yeah,
huge.
it
Yeah.
was huge. I used to have anxiety. They call it panic attacks, where I felt like I was having a heart attack, like that, where
Yeah.
I would almost crash my car if I had one while I was driving. And that they give you pills. Well, there's a pill for that, right? There's a pill. Well, they just all numb you out and turn you into a zombie.
Right.
Where this medication was like, I can take it, it helps immediately, and in an hour or less, I'm not like I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like it's not, it doesn't have, where the pills, I take the pill to go to bed. By lunch tomorrow, I still feel like a zombie.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I get stressed out and smoke a bowl, it immediately helps. And in a half hour, I've been having a good time for the last half hour. So I don't even remember why I was stressed out in the first place. Is that
That's
peaches?
yeah. That's oh yeah. Here's Peaches. Here's my sweetheart too.
Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm being interviewed by author Joe Holt. I told you about Joe. Yeah. No, you're not interrupting. How you
No,
doing?
Good. Just got home this weekend.
Cool.
the
Yeah.
stream is about you as a human being. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
that's awesome. I love how supportive, like so many of the D Live streamers that are still here and have been doing it for any length of time. You know who their wives are. You know who their kids are. You've met their pets, the dog, the
Yeah,
cat. Like
I
your
love that
family,
too.
the family has to be supportive, or you're not going to be able to live stream.
It's not. I mean, it's not sustainable.
Right.
You know, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And I don't know. Again, for me, it's holistic. You know, kind of health, like the whole picture here.
Hmm.
Uh, and you know, again, it can take a while to kind of find what that's even going to look. But that's one of the things I love about D too is that it feels like family.
Well, there's no, if you, I think, I guess any perception is available, but if you're honest with yourself, you would know the D Live community. Feel free to make mistakes. Feel free to be
Yeah.
wrong. Feel free to
Oh
need
my God.
help.
Yes.
And you,
Yes.
there, it none of that matters.
Yes. No. Yeah. Absolutely. That's
No,
again, and I say one of the reasons why I stream is well, the primary reason why I'm still streaming is the culture of D Live. It is
exactly.
incredibly positive and
Yeah,
supportive.
yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
yeah, I'm going to respond to that. You know, I'm a pretty sensitive dude. You know, so it's like I don't know if I hadn't had that positivity and that light support, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be here.
Dude,
You know.
I know for a fact that if I hadn't started live streaming on D Live a year ago, I would be a full blown hermit by now. Because I
Right.
when the things that happen with the family and everything, moving around trying to help, and then having these crazy things happen. I mean, literally, at one point, my life was threatened, like it with a weapon, like with a gun, you know. And you're just like, I don't understand what's happening. I kind of do, right? It's a defensive thing. It's not about me personally, but it's still hard to not be offended. You know what I mean? And be hurt. And live streaming and D Live really gave me that chance to, I don't know, to heal and think about that all and recover and bounce it off other people that are going through crazy shit themselves, you
Yeah,
know?
it's
And it
huge.
came out the other end like with legitimate friends, with a real sense of family and community here.
Yeah,
I mean, we've helped each other through real things, real problems, divorces, open heart surgeries, pet stuff, kid stuff, family stuff, divorce stuff, losing job stuff. Like
that.
this, the story, death. Yeah, the
Yeah,
stories I could tell you just from my experiences in the last year with D Live and our family. They're everything. It's the entirety of life that you could go through, good and bad. Right? People having kids, people getting married, people dying, people, all this stuff. We're these are real relationships we're forming here.
yeah. I'm looking forward to a point when I'm able to really meet some of my family here on D Live.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's something I'm planning for. You know, like
Actually, I was
most definitely.
pretty. We got PAX South coming up here in Texas, and in the next few days, I'm pretty bummed that I'm gonna have to say it out loud. There no plan by D Live to represent the community at this event, and that's
I'm
very.
surprised to hear that.
I mean, because I reached out to several staff, and they were like, I don't know, we haven't heard anything, and I'm like, that's bad, that's wrong, right? Like the community needs to show unity and strength and presence, right? I know everybody's busy and there's a lot going on, but I think it's a
Right.
mistake to not be present at that, because I'll tell you exactly why. I'm not going because they're not going. Talk to other streamers. We're like, hey, are you going? I don't know. Is D Live going to have a booth? Can we represent them? Well, they don't even know if they're going. Oh, well, we've got to buy plane tickets, hotels, rental cars. We got to buy tickets to get in. We've got It's a multi-day event. Right? There's a lot of money and planning that would go into us traveling to the event, right? And to not even know if D Live is going to be represented officially,
Right.
that really takes the steam out of wanting to spend all those resources.
Absolutely.
Like we could all
Yeah.
pick somewhere and just go get together. You know what I mean? Like we don't
Right.
need to include all that extra stuff.
hmm
I,
I do also. I like both ideas, just spontaneously coming together, but also showing up to an event like that. And, showing up. I, honestly, I'm surprised to hear that D Live hasn't decided to
yeah, and
go.
it's literally we're
Huh.
within like a week of the event or something. I don't
Oh,
remember. I forget the even exact date because I'm not going.
right,
Right? Like
right.
I'm not trying to badmouth the company at all. I'm saying that's a major missed opportunity.
I agree with you. I really do. And in the past, it seems that, and again, I don't keep up with all the different events, but it seems like D Live has been a presence, like
Well,
even
they have been,
from the
and
beginning.
other D Live streamers have talked about meeting each other at these different PAX events and how special that was and how much that
Right,
meant to them.
right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so like going into the future, let's go to all these officially as an organization because as streamers, we want to support the D Live publicly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have look, I don't claim to have answers about blockchains, cryptocurrency, any of that. But I understand people. That's kind of my thing, culture anthropology. And I understand community and friends and not having them and thinking you have them and find out you don't and then realizing at some point your family is who you say it is. Your family is who shows up and supports you on a day-to-day basis through real stuff, right? That's why I call D Live family. This is
Right.
these We have legitimately and in real ways stood up for each other repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
That's family.
Yeah,
So thanks for being a part of
yeah.
it. You know,
Thank
like
you. Thanks, D Live.
yeah, thanks. That's what I'm saying. Like Charles Wayne, now Justin Sun, these guys need to be commended. They
Mm-hmm.
see this incredible value that the D Live community has created, and they're allowing it to continue. That's awesome. Because I tell you, dude, if Vector, if D Live, let's say hypothetically, D Live didn't make that switch, Lino launched mainnet, the whole thing tanked, and now it's gone. I don't know where I would go. I couldn't go to
Yeah.
Twitch and get the same thing. I couldn't go to Mixer. I couldn't go to YouTube. I couldn't go to Facebook. None of the places that exist that I know about for live streaming could I go and get the same community feel, right?
Right.
Like, I think Mixer has some better interaction, way better interaction, right? That it like there's some things that other places are doing better. I still am not going to use them because it's not the community. It's
Hmm.
not my friends and family.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad D Live is continuing because I would be super bummed in a real way
Yeah.
if I couldn't do this.
For sure. I would be as well. If I couldn't do this, yeah, it would just be. I don't even know. Like it.
Yeah, I
Like I
don't want
said,
to
I
think
wouldn't.
about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be streaming if it weren't from the get.
Hmm.
So yeah, if D Live just shut down for whatever reason, I'd probably stop streaming.
I think I would too.
Honestly,
I think I would
I'd
too.
probably stop streaming.
Yeah,
I
but
would
that
go through to other people's streams, say hey, and hang out, but I just don't know. You know.
but what? Where would you go through their streams on other platforms? Because
Yeah, yeah. I
like
mean, there are people that I really like and I
Mm.
support that
Hmm.
don't stream on D Live anymore. I met him through D Live.
Oh, right,
And
right,
it,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
actually,
yeah,
if D Live didn't exist, obviously there wouldn't need to be that loyalty there for me, right? Because I have that loyalty there. So if it didn't exist, it wouldn't. I don't, because I'm a logical person with my autism. So this isn't an emotional construct, right? But so if D Live doesn't exist, like you said, yeah, but these are still my family. These are still my friends. I would go to other platforms and find them and support them, right? But as long as this family exists in a definable way and we have a place to hang out, that's where I'm going to be.
fuck yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care what
same
you
here.
call it. I don't care the name of the website. I don't care the name of the cryptocurrency. If it's this community, I'm in.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah. Like I
I
was
like that. I
stoked
like that.
to hear that Justin bought it and is going to adopt the D Live name, right? Instead of B Live. Their company was named B Live.
Oh God, yeah,
Right? They're
yeah.
gonna we get to keep the D Live name. That's sweet.
I think it's sweet. I also think it's just right. You know what I mean? Like
Sure, sure.
D Live. And it is kind of funny. Kind of thinking of Justin Sun's tweet the other day about building D Live. I think it was maybe a lost in translation thing there. I'm not quite sure, but
Yeah, yeah, I know what you
it
mean.
was it was humorous. You know what I mean? And a lot of people were like, "Hey, look," and for me, it was just kind of funny. Kind of like, all right, but yeah, like I think that that's the right thing to do. Because D Live again, all of the work D Live has done to build itself. Like
Hmm.
we're merging. D Live is merging with this other thing.
Dude, this guy
And
saw
yeah, D
value.
Live is not D Live.
Well,
So I
think
think,
about
yeah,
this, Vector.
yeah,
Again, let's quantify it because
mhm,
conjecture and is not necessarily helpful, and our opinions are all varied, right? So let's look at it from a logical standpoint. This is a businessman who paid a large amount of money to acquire what exactly, right? Because Lino doesn't exist, the
right,
blockchain doesn't exist, the
right,
token that they, right? So he's literally buying the community. That's what exists. The community of DLive is what is the value. That's what has the value. And we've
hmm,
proven that using the Lino blockchain, right? Like there's actual empirical data to prove that. But you and I, right, the people in chat, we are the valuable asset. It's so much so that other people are willing to spend money to acquire the community.
hmm,
That says a lot. I think that proves what an incredible thing we've got going here. Somebody's
hmm,
willing to put large amount of money down so that this community will be a part of their business because they
right,
could see the value in the community. That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
That's a huge vote of confidence, I think, for all of us who have been here building D Live since the inception or through these major changes. We should all feel good about what we've done. The time, the effort, the energy, the community, the people that we've brought here.
yeah,
It has real value.
yeah. It most definitely does.
Hmm.
Um, I know it does for me, and it's exciting to again make these connections here on D Live more and more, and build those relationships. And again, back to that sort of kind of longer wave um, versus shorter wave. That's
Hmm.
one of the things I love about this community too. Is just having the time, and the energy to build relationships
Hmm.
with others, and not just show you how quickly I can get a chicken dinner in Fortnite or
Right.
whatever.
I think
Um,
the ability to be sincere and the willingness to be sincere is goes a long way in why people like you and I have been successful here. Right? And then also, how do you define success? You know what I mean? Like
good question.
I don't define success in terms of my followers or donos or any of that. for me, live streaming is the success. I'm doing what I came here to do. I win.
That's pretty amazing, you know.
I
Uh,
win. I
yeah,
win.
exactly.
I win. I'm
Right.
successful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But
Well,
the
Joe,
willingness to
yeah,
be sincere, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I just wanted, the reason I brought that up is I wanted to commend you on your heart, your sincerity, your content, the your loyalty to the community. I think it's worth highlighting, and that's why I asked you to be on the show. And I like I said, I'm honored that you're on the show. You've been here twice as long as I have on this platform, and are an integral part of the platform. And I, for one, am glad that you're a part of it. And I find your what you do to be very entertaining as well. Right? Like I find you to be a valuable member of the community because of who you are as a human, but I also enjoy your content.
That really means a lot to me, Joe. Thank you so much for expressing that to me and reflecting that back to me.
Yes, sir.
That
And those
yeah,
things
that
are definitely
yeah.
separate. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
they are. They
They're,
are, and I really appreciate of what you're saying, but especially the former.
mm,
That means a lot to me because D Live means a lot to me, and I'm glad that you recognize that.
yep,
It means a
absolutely.
lot.
Well, I'm glad, dude. I by the skin of your teeth, you made it into the top 50 shows, and then you'd have been remiss if you hadn't, because you're one of the old school, D Live streamers. So
Okay, I got a question for you.
okay,
Okay, so the other night you were streaming, you were listening to some jam. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Singing,
so
singing terribly.
yes,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. So I came through. I'm talking with Joe. Joe, Joe, he starts raving about me as a streamer. Okay, he starts listing this stuff.
I don't.
Boom, 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 boom. He gives me He gives me a 9 out of 10 as a streamer.
Yeah, yeah. At least an
Nine out
eight.
of
At
ten.
least an 8.9.
Well, it was 9 out of 10. God damn
Oh,
it!
that's
All
right. I
right.
think I might have
Okay.
even said that. Yeah, you're right.
You
All right,
did
all
say
right,
that.
all right, all right.
But here's the thing. You said you listed all these things, and then gaming. So nine
I
out of
do.
ten
Yeah,
ain't bad.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
I want to
remember that
know.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I want to know what is your gauge? How do you rate a gamer?
um.
What's your compass here?
Okay, it's a very specific thing, and it is:
Yeah.
do I get absorbed into the gameplay? Right? Like, how good are you at? Because some streamers, like, well, I'll give you an example. Sean Hawk, such a big personality, the game very rarely matters. I'm there for the Sean show. You know what I mean? With you, it's very interesting because sometimes I get absorbed into the game, but it's more likely that I'm just there because you're there, right? I'm there for you, whatever you're doing and saying. That's my enjoyment. So that's what I was saying. As a gamer, not because you're not good or not enjoying the games you're playing, but because most of the time I don't get absorbed into the game. Most of the time I get absorbed into you as the character or the streamer.
That
Like,
is very specific.
yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate that. I really like that. I never really.
Yeah, because
It hasn't
that's,
been articulated.
well,
Cool.
and that's kind of what my specialty is, right? As an aviation electrical engineer is my primary occupation, or was.
Could you say
I
that again, please?
Aviation electrical engineer, like
Okay.
building and wiring helicopters, primarily aircraft.
Oh,
My
word. Okay.
Yeah, my job was primarily troubleshooting. Right, this doesn't work. Okay, figure out why. Basic, simple. What's the answer? Don't give me the big brain version. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I got good at articulating rather complex thoughts, and I've it's really helped me because that's why I got into cultural anthropology instead
Okay.
of like social anthropology. Not to get into the specifics of all that, but I appreciate how cultures can affect us as human beings, right? We all have our personalities, but the zeitgeist or the social pulse, the culture, right? The social pulse is more of a short term thing. The cultural pulse is a much more long term, like you said, a much more long term, even killed look at the culture versus specifically looking at microcosms within that culture, right? So
Right.
as a cultural anthropologist, I wanted to start streaming on DLive because collectively we had this incredible thing, right? Like you're a great dude, but you're not the company. You know what I mean? It's
I'm not the
you,
community.
right? It's you and the people from all over the world. It's all of these cultures that are blending so well, right? Like there's
Hmm.
so much hate and discontent in the media about, well, you're the wrong color, you're the wrong race, you're the wrong religion, you're the wrong national, you're all these things. And I'm like, actually, we've got this thing called D Live. We're totally hanging out. Like I've interviewed in 50 shows, Borneo, Ireland, Canada, all over the United Kingdom, or actually, uh, I know I actually interviewed a British streamer recently who said he doesn't like the United Kingdom because that insinuates a monarchy, right?
Hmm.
I was like, I like what you're saying there. I dig it, right? But anyway, the beautiful thing about D Live community is all of us together, our differences are what's beautiful about us individually, but
Yes.
it's our similarities that draw us together as a community.
Yeah. I have a very deep appreciation for plurality in general,
Yeah, yeah,
and especially to me it shows a sign of a very healthy culture when there is more
exactly.
plurality. You know.
Exactly. And so to be more specific about what we were talking about, like there are some people like Enforcer J. I'm not there for his personality. You know what I mean? I'm there because
Mhm.
he's one of the best game players at first person shooters in the world. And you're going to get totally immersed in the game. And you're going to be probably more than not victories. You know what I mean? Like you're immersed in the game. And now he has his mom comes in, his wife. Like there's moments of, you know what I mean, where you get the Enforcer J part of the show, but it's a very small portion, right? His gameplay is the draw there, and he just
Mhm.
happens to be an awesome guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's for with you. It's like, well, I don't care what game is playing. It's
Right.
Victor Abbott. I want to hang out. He's gonna laugh. He's gonna do silly shit. I'm gonna have a good time. We may even have a serious conversation, but I'm gonna come away from your time feeling good, right? Feeling like I had a nice exchange with somebody I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. So that's why I was saying about your show, or I mean about you on my show is like gameplay. Like if you're looking for gameplay, there's other streamers that do that better.
Yeah.
But that
Absolutely.
wasn't even it wasn't a direct commentary on your gameplay either. You know what I mean?
Well, now I do
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
how
yeah,
again how you
yeah,
are, which I very much appreciate.
yeah. Because I've
You know.
seen you really play some of your streams. You were kicking the shit out of the game, right? But it still wasn't never. It was never about the game.
Right. I get that.
It gives
That's
you
pretty cool.
for like your stream. It's more of it gives you something, a target, something to
Hmm.
talk about,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah. I love games.
Yeah, you do things with the game instead of the game is doing things to you, right? Like so
Right.
many streamers, their emotions are very much hinged on their success in the game, and yours aren't at all. You're having a good time whether you just potatoed it or nailed it on the first try.
Yeah, and for me that's fun. I
Exact,
like
yeah. It's
I
contagious.
like I also like sharing those emotions. Especially
Yeah,
with
yeah.
lately we're getting more into these games, but lately I've been playing Dark Souls 3
Hmm.
and I love it. I love the salt that it brings out. The
Right.
frustration and just
Yeah.
I love that the brutal failure
Oh,
over and
yeah.
over and over. And maybe that's the clown in me because again, that's very much clown. Learning to make people laugh, it can be brutal. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess for me, I've just I've developed more of a sense of humor about kinds of,
It's
you know.
easier to get through life that way. I have to
Yeah,
ask about your
yeah,
shirt. I keep
absolutely.
seeing your shirt peek up during the interview. It's an incredible shirt you're wearing. Is a
Thank
clown?
you.
Is that a particular clown?
So this was made, and thank you very much, Joe. This was made by a friend of mine. She is a graphic designer, so it's like a one of a kind shirt. Really
Hmm.
simple, but I really love it.
It's such a beautiful statement,
Yeah,
such a strong image.
yeah, I think it's great. The other shirt she made for me of Richard Pryor. It was black with a white print. Another
Dude,
clown.
I love some
Um,
Richard Pryor.
yeah, but this is from
Yeah.
Federico for The Clowns. For those of you who are interested, it's an amazing film. Watch it if you're in the film at
Can
all.
you say the
It's
name of the film again?
sure. It's just called The Clowns. The
Okay,
Clowns.
okay, okay.
It's considered by many to be the first mockumentary film.
Hmm,
Whatever, it's just an amazing movie.
sure,
It's
sure.
really special. It's blending real life. We're talking like real clowns from the Italian heritage. It's filmed in Italy, and
Hmm.
we're talking like
Now,
generations of clowns.
does that tie into the mimes? Like, or is that a clearly separate genre? Because
Oh,
being a
yeah,
mime
mimes.
versus being a clown.
Right, mimes are mimes. Clowns are clowns. Miming can be a part of clowning
So
for
it's more
sure, since it's
performance
still
art, but it's definitely not clowning. Is that what you're saying?
miming.
Yeah,
I think miming can certainly be a specific style, but really miming is sort of a basic building block. I think of just being a good performer,
sure,
if you ask
sure.
me. But yeah,
Hmm.
you can certainly just be a pantomime,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
Well, have you ever thought about doing just a stream, not like as a thing, but a one-off stream as a clown?
Absolutely, it's just
That seems like it would be
something.
fun for you to explore.
Oh yeah, yeah, very much, and I would like to. But something like that, I feel would be really far out from now, time wise.
Oh, like, dude, the idea for the beard stream for me was like left field, and it happened organically when it was ready to.
Right.
You know what I
That's for
mean?
me is how it
Yeah,
has to be, and
yeah.
yeah, something like that. I feel is quite far off right now. I'm focusing just on, you know,
Well,
uh,
if you never do it, I will still continue to come watch you just in case maybe one day you will.
yeah, you never know. I mean,
You never
that's what I
know.
love about the Abbey. It's
You never know.
spontaneous.
It's intermittent reinforcement. That's what drives us
Hmm.
as humans. Actually, that's a good tip if you guys want to, you know,
What's that?
intermittent reinforcement.
Can
You
you explain,
you
please?
Yeah, it's the simplest way to explain that would be slot machines. There's
Okay.
always the ability to smash it, but you're not gonna win very often. And sometimes you're gonna win a little, sometimes you're gonna win a lot. But the idea is there's always a chance. There's all like every pull, there's a chance for it to be amazing. That chance is called intermittent reinforcement, and that's what keeps people there, right? Spending the mortgage and spending the college tuition, and because it's so it can be played upon negatively, right? I'm not saying to do that, but I'm saying you could also use that in a positive manner, like
Okay.
occasionally reward your community with something extraordinary or out of the normal that's
Yeah.
gonna get that you're clearly putting yourself out for them, right?
Wow.
Like that's very important for loyalty, for long-term loyalty and building that connection.
And I think part of that is again taking risks, being
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
exactly. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you already have the skills, man. You're already there. You're
Yeah.
already there.
Yeah. You do have something there.
Seriously, like
So
if you
yeah.
look at moments, life is moments collectively, and if you look at that, you're already there right now. You
Hmm.
have a beautiful community and family that you're a part of online. You have people in your life, interpersonal relationships that are going well, right? A domestic tranquility type thing with a dog and a relationship. That's fantastic. You're there. You're already there. I don't know what you were looking for before, but you found it. So it's
So put on the
important.
damn clown nose.
Well, it's important to recognize the moments as they're happening. Like one of the worst things, I've interviewed a lot of elderly people, and that was kind of what I did primarily in end of life care and things like that. And there's so many of them that had the regrets. I wish I knew how special that time was at that time, right? Instead
Right.
of looking back and going, oh, wow, that was really special and I should have paid more attention, right? Like, no, now this is special. This what we're doing, what D Live is doing, this community, this whole idea of sharing your lives with other people in live streaming and real, like the whole cryptocurrency and how that's all being tied into the back end. Who gives a shit, honestly, right? Those are different people. Those are money people. They're doing it for different
Yeah,
reasons,
we've all got our frequencies. So
right? But what we're doing, this is real and it's big and it's new and it's going to change the world.
it's exciting, right? Like I feel that too, Joe.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
maybe it is a part of like sort of being newer streamers. Like for me, it is
yeah.
about those possibilities. Seeing like, whoa, this is wild. This whole medium of streaming,
We're
and it's just
doing
getting
something.
started.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
human beings, this is change. This changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you and I can do this. You're on the other side of the country from me, right? Like in if we were in Europe, you'd be in a different country with you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
For
the
sure.
distance between us, and yet we're sitting here like we're on the same couch having a conversation and sharing it with the world.
By the
The-
fire.
and they can be a part of it.
Right.
That's incredible. They're like it's such a big deal. As a
It
culture
is.
anthropologist, I want to highlight that it's such a big
Nice.
deal. That's why I do these shows, right? Because
Right.
if I write a
Huh.
book from the
Right.
point
Right.
of like from when I interview somebody, write everything down, write the book, get it published, you're talking at least a year, and in some
Right.
cases 2, 3, 4 years. Except I can call you, you can answer the phone, we can share it all right here, right now, as it happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's
Right.
impressive. That's incredible. That's
That's
going to
live.
bring human beings together in a way that was never been possible before.
Gosh,
It's
I really hope so. I
it's an
really do.
exciting time. Well, it's
Because
whatever
as
you
you
want
say
to
about
use it
highlight,
for.
I can highlight. Yes.
Hmm.
For me, it has changed my life
Hmm.
for
Me
the
too.
better.
Yep.
And yeah, you're right. Like it is happening right, and that is embracing that. And again, being available to do from the get is important, and
Hmm.
that's what keeps me coming back.
So, all right, we're gonna. I know we need to wrap this thing up. We've been going for almost 3 hours. Let's. Why don't you tell people what your time zone is? When do you normally stream? You know, like why should they come watch you and when?
All right, Joe, y'all. My name is Vector Abbott, and I am an OGD streaming on D Live since February 1st, 2018, when it was a blockchain. And I love to stream, and I love my community. Um, I stream from the Abbey, which is my channel. Pacific Standard Time is where I'm coming from. I stream from Spokane, Washington. That's where I live, sweetheart and my doggies. And yeah, I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary of being a streamer. And I invite you to come over to the Abbey and chill. That's all. Just chill for a bit and say hi, introduce yourself. What are you up to on the platform? What are you doing now in the moment? Um, yeah, just start there. Just come on over. Monday, Friday stream. Lately, I've been kind of all as far as schedule goes. That's kind of out the window right now, which is just fine for
But
me.
you said Monday through. You're cutting in and out of it.
Sorry about that.
Monday through Friday, but the time is negotiable.
Right, schedule
Okay.
is just
No
not.
schedule, but every day. So if somebody wants to know when you're live, follow the link in chat or go to at Vector Abbott on DLive, VectorAbbot, and you will find his channel. And if you follow him, DLive will tell you when he's live. But you could also, you have a DLive Discord as well. I'm sorry, a Discord server as well.
Yeah, for the Abbey, I certainly do.
But is that in your about section on your page?
It is.
Okay.
It is. And a shout out to Rorfed. The Abbey.
Sorry, I didn't get any of that.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why. It must be your gate or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but what'd you say? You were thanking somebody?
Shout out to Rorfed for putting together all the panels, the Abbey banner. Sorry for the audio issues, man. I've never experienced this before, so I'm gonna.
That's what I was telling people. It's part of streaming. Like you're not gonna be a live streamer and not have problems with your mic and your camera and your connection and the game and it's just part of it.
And where's the fun in that anyway?
Right. And it doesn't matter. Like try not to get upset or too worked up about it. We all have had a fat ass host and disconnected 30 seconds later. It sucks. It's easy to get frustrated. Just try to relax, let it go. It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
and move
absolutely. On. You can join that app. Also, I'm on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. And anytime I'm live, you'll see a little red lamp lit next to my. So that's another.
Do you have the same name on Twitter, Vector Abbott?
Do. Okay. Yeah, it's Vector Abbott across all platforms.
That's really smart. Actually, brand recognition is very, very helpful.
And it just, again, it all comes from DLive. Started on DLive.
I liked the very first question. If you guys have missed the beginning of the show, we're going to put all this up on YouTube and I'll share this with Vector so you can watch the whole thing. But the very first question was, how'd you come up with your name? And Vector Abbott basically said, it sounded good, so I picked it. What's fun now, though, is it means a lot to you because of what it's become.
And it gets, more meaning sort of comes to it as time goes on, which is really...
You're the first guest that's ever been the case. You're the first guest that was like, it doesn't mean shit. I just thought it sounded cool. And now it means so much.
Right.
That's cool. I highly respect that.
Yeah.
It's
fun.
That's awesome. Well, goodbye. Thanks for coming. It was awesome.
Thanks for having me. Have this 50th Fireside Chat here on DLive, and I really appreciate it. I'm blown away that this is your 50th show already.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I had such an amazing time chatting with you, Joe. I really did. And
well, it was great to get to know you. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate your perspective, your point of view when it comes to many different things. And thanks for sharing all of that with me and also reflecting back to me that positivity.
Sure.
Thank you, Joe.
Absolutely. Well, if you'll hang out for 1 second, I'm going to wrap up the show and I'll be right back with you.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So as you heard, that's Vector Abbott. This has been my 50th Fireside Chat. Thank you to every one of my guests that have been involved up to this point in these live podcasts. We basically I'm a DLive streamer. I'm interviewing other DLive streamers on DLive about themselves as human beings, about streaming, about whatever. They're all different. So, thank you guys for being here. Like we said this many times in the show, and I want to say it again. The community is so important. It's such an incredible group on DLive. That's why a lot of us are here. We don't live stream because of any other reason that we want to be a part of the DLive community. So thank you guys that show up every day and support our shows. We love you. You truly are making a difference in our lives. Thanks. And we have another show scheduled this coming Sunday. Let me look at the date. I don't want to give you the wrong information. We got Eric Wilson on the show January 19th. That's this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. And it's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time right now. So 2 hours earlier than it is right now, wherever you are on Sunday. next scheduled Fireside Chat. So again, thank you guys for being here. Something that DLive allows us to do to support other streamers, we can host other streams, and I would like for you guys to to meet some of the incredible people that I found on DLive. You know what? How about we've done 50 of these. One of my first guests, Super Sport Games. His name's Joe. My name's Joe. He's one of the great Joes on DLive. There's many of us, but let's all go say hi to Super Sport Games. Wherever you guys are in the world, thank you for being here. I'm sending you love and light, blessings. I'll see you again soon. Aloha.